Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is.
Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends. When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchased with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
There we go. Now we're on. Good morning. Hope you all are doing well on a beautiful Friday, baby. You made it. Yes. Get a little closer to Dolphins football. A little more pain tomorrow with Canes football because they've got to learn how to tackle. You know, they didn't learn it in Little League or in high school they got to learn it now in college at the University of Miami. You know, because that's the kind of coaching staff you have. Anyway, good morning. How y'all doing out there? Y'all hanging out there? Feeling good? It's the weekend. You just got to get through today, and then you're off for the next 2 days, or at least some of you are. Some of us will work on the weekend since we will be Sunday at Sports Grill, baby. Yes, in Miami Lakes for the Raiders game. And don't be nervous, all right? The boys will be prepared. You know, I feel good about Flo. I think he'll have his guys ready and psyched and ready to compete on Sunday. And we'll talk about that. Remember, we start at 2 o'clock, 2 hours before game time. We're there for the first 8 games of the season. The next 9, we will be at the Bird Road location. But for now, we're in Miami Lakes. So we encourage you to come on out and join us at Miami Lakes so we can have some fun. We have news also on the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to be starting October 4th, 3 days after I turned 55. On October 1st, I turned 55. And on October 4th, that's a Monday, we will be starting that Monday, and every Monday after that, we will be at Hialeah Park, baby. And I was at Hialeah Park yesterday hanging out with the boys because we're actually going to cover a boxing event, which is going to be cool. They're going to have several Cuban boxers who are undefeated. Ariel Perez de la Torre, is 6-0 with 5 KOs. Neslan Machado, who is 17-0 with 8 KOs. Orestes Velasquez, who is 2-0 with 2 KOs. Isaac Carbonell, who is 4-0 with 3 KOs.
George Romero, who's 21-0-1 with 13 KOs. Carlos Negron is 24-3 with 19 KOs. Abraham Martinez, 9-0-1 with 7 KOs. And Robert Daniels Jr., yes, that Robert Daniels, the son of Robert Daniels. I called his fights at the Seville Hotel about, 28 years ago, 25 years ago. I used to do the calling of some of those fights at the Seville Hotel. And it's funny because I used to work with Julio Martinez back in the day, and I'm doing a little work again with Julio Martinez. It's interesting how the world revolves quickly. Robert Daniels Jr., the son, is 5-0 with 5 KOs, a light heavyweight. And so they're going to have a boxing card that will be on ESPN. That'll be in November, actually. In October, I'm sorry, is when we're having the event in the middle of October. So we'll be there for the reception. We'll be there for the weigh-in. We'll be doing shows from the weigh-in and all that. Some of the boxers will join us. Some of them will be in English. Some of them will be Spanglish, just to give you a little warning there. But yeah, we're going to have some fun. And then every Monday, there's a lot of stuff going on at Hialeah Park. Hialeah Park is growing. There's news to be talked about that we'll get to it. They're adding Santa's Enchanted Forest. And then there'll be some other news coming in October too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be at Hialeah Park starting October 4th. Every Monday, we'll be out there broadcasting live. So if you're in the area, you can come out, hang out with us. So now you know, once a month, we're going to be at Caneswear. Twice a month, we're going to be at Acura. Every Monday, we're going to be at Hialeah Park. The show is growing every single day. All right, folks, every single day it is growing. And it's a beautiful thing to watch it grow the way it is growing, man. And I appreciate all of you out there for helping us grow, like Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures, which, of course, is a proud sponsor of our show. And, of course, a way of you enjoying Miami. So, folks, appreciate all of you out there. This is another opportunity. So we're at Sports Grill every week on Sundays. We're going to be at Hialeah Park every week on Mondays. We're going to be at Acura Pembroke Pines twice a month. We're going to be at Caneswear. And if you have a business that wants to be a part of our show, which is exploding every single day, thanks to all of you out there and becoming, I think, the hub for sports for South Florida sports fans all over the world, we'd welcome you to join our family. So reach out to us, whether it's the email, bigoradioshow@yahoo.com, or on Twitter @BigOShow. You can DM me if your business wants to be a part of our business and partner up and, team up and build the best sports show here in South Florida for South Florida fans all across the world. So thank you. Thank you to all the great people at Hialeah Park, the Brunetti family, Frank Fiore, just all the great people out there that are always been very supportive of our show, man. Thank you very much. So very happy, man, that we're moving along. We restarted this thing on June 14th, and not too bad that by the end of September, we're doing all right with, I think, the best insiders, the best group of people that we can put together every week, pretty much. At 10:30, Omar Kelly will be joining us. At 11:30, Ira Winderman will be joining us. At 12:30, Manny Navarro will be joining us. I mean, dude, I don't know what more we can do on this program. So I appreciate all of you out there, as always. Still looking for a salesperson also to join the team, but you got to have experience in radio or TV sales. That is very, very important. Again, you can reach out to me on Twitter @BigOShow. The DMs are open. You can also reach out to me by email at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. The text line also 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. So I'm looking also to grow the family. I am looking for somebody that's involved in sales. Should be a lot easier to sell now. I mean, we're averaging 1.3 million downloads in the last 28 days, and we are about to hit 5 million downloads. We'll probably hit it sometime this weekend or by Monday latest, something along those lines, because we just crossed 4 million just a couple weeks back. So it shows you how fast we're growing. So appreciate all of you out there. Giovanni says, I bought Miami coin via OK Coin. I wish you would have bought it when it was in the bottom, when it hit at 1.1. And remember, one of the things I always guide you guys in trying to do all of this, the audio leak, the mic is going in and out. Really? Hold on. Let me see. Aha. Okay, now we got it. Better. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's much better now. I am sorry. I would imagine that. I checked it there. I fixed it already. I would imagine it's fixed. Tell me that it's fine now. Okay. All right. Way better. Okay. Thank you all out there. So if you didn't hear, we'll be at Hialeah Park every Monday. Okay, from starting October 4th. We'll be at Hialeah Park every Monday out there. So every Sunday, you can catch us at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. Every Monday, you can catch us at Hialeah Park. And we thank all the great people at Hialeah Park for helping us, as always, and supporting us and our show. And we'll have a great boxing event going on with several Cuban boxers that will be on there on the card. So that's going to be actually really, really cool. So if you can join us out there. So every Monday, man, got a lot of things going on at Hialeah Park that you guys are going to want to be a part of also. So appreciate all of that, all of you out there. So we'll be twice a week at Acura, once a month at Canesware. Every Monday we'll be at Hialeah Park. Every Sunday we're going to be at Sports Grill. And once again, for now that it's cleaner audio, if your business wants to join our business, please reach out to us. Text line 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Email bigradioshow@yahoo.com. And on Twitter at Big O Show, the DMs are open. Also, since the audio wasn't sounding good, I am still looking for a salesperson to join the family. May look for two. It all depends. You know, if you have experience, you have to have experience, obviously, selling radio or TV. So you can reach out to me. Many ways to reach out to me if you have experience. If you don't have experience, don't even bother. Don't reach out, because I don't have I got so much to do. I cannot train somebody. You know what I mean? You got to be experienced, and you got to have connections in the business. So please, if you know somebody, or you fit that mold, I mean, Lord knows there's plenty of work out there to be had. So if you want to join our family and you have experience in sales, please reach out to us there. So a lot of things. Show is growing every single day, and I appreciate all of you out there, as always, for being so supportive of the program. And I apologize that I did not realize that the sound was a little iffy there at the beginning. So it looks like we corrected it. I've been checking it, but it's just one of those little things that you got to tweak every once in a while. It'll happen and it'll get out of place. And then you're like, you don't even know. And until all of you, of course, are kind enough to tell me that, hey, man, it sounds like shit. Why don't you fix it there, buddy? And so we did. Thank you all out there. Morning over and under 4 sacks for the Raiders this Sunday. I'm going to go with 5. It could be bad. It could be bad, but then again, you know, there's a part of me that professionalism and pride takes over this weekend, right? I'm hoping that the 5 guys up front for the Miami Dolphins, you know, they say that they get pissed. In other words, that's what I would like. I would like for the Finns O-line to get pissed. That's what I like, right? I mean,
if they have any pride in saying, okay, listen, I am not going to be looked at like a bust. I'm tired of people saying that I can't play. Austin Jackson, I'm tired of people thinking I'm a turnstile. So I'm hoping that there is some internal pride this week. You know, hey, we effed up our quarterback. Kid's out. Now we got the backup quarterback. We can't allow Jacoby Brissett to get pounded on, which, by the way, he did get pounded on in that game against Buffalo. There was even a Malachi crunch in the whole damn thing, so they have to look at the tape of Buffalo. If I'm the O-line coach, I'm showing them that tape every day. Every day. I don't want to see this again. I don't want to see this again. Oh, hey, guys. All right, let's get ready for the Raiders. But, hey, let me show you this. I don't want to see this again. Hey, Solomon, you saw this? I don't want to see this again. Hey, Eichenberg, you saw this? I don't want to see this again. Hey, Austin, I don't want to see this again. Hey, Dieter, that kind of stuff. I'm hoping that there was thorough embarrassment this week for the O-line. And I hope that they get pissed off enough to, like, okay, I gotta figure out a way to play better, right? The rest of us in life figure out a way where we got to go pay the bills, right? We got to go work. Although some of you have the magic of being able to get by without working, which, God bless you, man. I don't know how you do it. But most of us, we got to find a way to overcome, right? Single mother, single father, multiple kids, multiple jobs, finding a way, right? Well, let's hope that the O-line this week gets to that desperation point where they say, okay, we got to find a way and do whatever it takes. And we're not going to be embarrassed. We're not going to allow our quarterback to get hurt. We're going to do the things that nobody expects us to do, play well. Because at this point, you saw with the opening text right there. At this point, that's the attitude that you're going to get from Dolphins. They're expecting failure from the offensive line. So it's time for the offensive line to tell the world, F you, we're not that bad. And let's hope it starts this week against the Raiders. I mean, they're all draft picks, man. They all got to figure out that the sands of the hourglass are going through at the moment, and they're running out of time, right? So Austin Jackson got called out this week. That kind of tells me that Flo is saying, yo, dude, I'm Dean Wormer, and you're on double secret probation. So let's go. Get it done. So I'm hoping that they're pissed. They're embarrassed. And they're frustrated. And they're like, enough is enough. That's what I'm hoping we get from the offensive line this week. So I'm not hoping for 4 or 5 sacks. I'm hoping for a win. I'm hoping for a hell of an effort. In fact, I'm expecting a hell of an effort from the Dolphins. The kind of effort that gives you a chance to win the damn game. That's what I'm expecting from the Dolphins. I'm not expecting them to go in there and lay an egg and play like crap. That's not what they do under this coach. So you can bet you can bet on 5 sacks if you want. I'm going to bet that they're actually going to show some pride this week and go up there and surprise people and try to do a decent job. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Anyway, so a lot of things to talk about. Omar Kelly will join us at 10:30. Ira Winderman will join us at 11:30. Manny Navarro will join us at 12:30. Remember, we will start at 2:00 on Sunday, over at Sports Grill because the game's at 4. So we are on 2 hours before the game always, okay? Every time. So some of you ask, hey, are you on this? No, we're on every Sunday. We're on 2 hours before every game. You can guarantee that we'll be here for you on YouTube, breaking it down. And obviously everything is podcasted after. So if you miss it and you want to listen to it and all that, which I always appreciate all of you out there with the incredible support that you give us. Thank you so much out there. Let's see what else do we have. Chapman, obviously, first in. They didn't beat him out this week. He says, do not give up on the O-line guys. Granted, they were garbage last week, but they were serviceable in week 1 and last year. No reason why they can't bounce back this week. Keep the faith. I'm with Steve. I'm going to keep the faith. I guess, maybe I've gotten older and I'm more patient. Although not really, because I'm not patient with Manny Diaz. I'm really not, but that's because there's been just an amount of, irresponsibility, inconsistency, poor play, no improvement in any area whatsoever for Manny in 3 years now, or going into his 3rd year now. And so I have no hope for him. But, for the Dolphins, they've shown me enough the first 2 years that I'm just not going to overreact. I know he got Joe Shad all hot and bothered yesterday. I guess he expected me to be full of piss and vinegar by now, but it's only week 2 that we just went through, and this is week 3. It's not over. There's no reason to panic, man, at this point in time. Let's see. Ender Fireplace says, Vamos, good morning, Big O. Saludos from South Jersey. Fins up. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you out there. Jamie Zorria out in San Jose early in the morning. Thank you, sir. Jamie and NorCal, man, you guys are just amazing. Locking in so early in the morning. Omar Lopez in. Big Bob. Aceman 212 says, was that Nico from Iron Maiden? You're talking about the yes. On the montage that we play, the 90-second montage. Yes. Yeah, I've been fortunate. I've met a few people in my lifetime, and Nico's one actually that I can send him a text every once in a while because he's a good dude. Nico's good people. I got to get him on the show one day. I'll get Nico on the show. I promise you. Let's see. Gus 1388. What's up, everybody? GP Trap is in. Checking in from Pompano Beach. I always love when you guys put where you're checking in from, because I always love checking out where you're coming from locally, nationally, internationally. This platform allows us to connect to everybody out there. And listen, when you're listening on the podcast at any time, day, nights, whatever, send us a comment, man. Post it on YouTube. Send it in on email, on the text line at 855-912-1056. You guys should save the text line number on your phone, 855-912-1056. You never know when you want to send me a text. It might be something that happens in the game. It doesn't have to be a response to something on the show. You might want to send me, some kind of a funny picture or article or something like that. It is what it is. Maybe a tip on something that's breaking, you never know. So, send it in. South Florida Don is in. Thomas Jensen, David Norton, Eudotis. Let's see. Exontium Nyborg or something like that. I don't know what the hell, how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Michael Fernandez. Let's see. Ian from Brooklyn. Ray Grullon, Chase One, Fred Davis says, I missed the glory days of Hialeah Park when it was one of the best tracks in the country. Yeah, that part is dying, bro. That part is dead pretty much. They were thinking of bringing back horse racing, but it was so expensive. So there will be plenty of other things to do where you can go and hang out there, and stuff will be announced. Chase One says, Ryder Cup. Let's go, America. Yay. I won't be watching, but you guys enjoy. I just, that just does nothing for me, man. Just doesn't. I'm sorry. George is in. And thank you for reminding me about the audio problems. Richard is in. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And reminding me about the mic. I appreciate you. Alex Hennis says, I saw Devil's Bag Run at Hialeah in 1984. Nice. The track is still the architecture, everything. It's still a beautiful place, man. Javier Gonzalez says we need Deshaun. Tua is too fragile in football. You will get hit regardless of having a great line. You will still get hit. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he actually talked a little bit about holding out for 2 years. Yeah. So Deshaun Watson apparently is open to saying, yeah, you know what? If you guys don't trade me this year and you think I'm going to report, I'm not going to report. I'm not going to be here at any time. So don't bother with me, dude. I'll hold out for 2 years if I have to hold out. That's like, seriously. It says a source says Deshaun Watson remains committed to forcing his exit from Houston, no matter how long it might take. The source close to Watson said, if you're paying him $10 million to sit this year, you don't think he would take $30 million to sit next year? Now, there's a report that the criminal inquiry, AJ Perez of Front Office Sports, which I don't know how, legit it is, says that the criminal inquiry regarding the sexual allegations will be completed before the NFL trading deadline November 2nd. That's nice, but the civil lawsuits will not. And so, and we don't even know what that inquiry will find before that. It might be something negative. So we really don't know, but he is willing to hold out. I mean, he's getting paid $10 million just to sit out there. We saw his team last night playing against the Carolina Panthers, and he's I guess he's enjoying life with his girlfriend. So willing to hold out for 2 years. Be careful what you ask for. When you hold out that long, it makes it that much harder to get back into any kind of a groove in anything that you do in life. So you could end up losing your mojo in those 2 years because you hadn't played at that level and then trying to find the magic once again. You know what I'm saying? 2 years. That'd be some crazy stuff. Big O, Big Bob says Robert Tabarez is a great salesman. I have him reach out to you. All right. Well, thank you. Have him reach out to me. I need to hire a good 1 or 2 good salespeople. Everybody can get work here and make a living and have some fun. That's kind of the idea. Rosendo says, happy Friday. May your day shine like the morning star and your nights hide you from all evils. May you radiate God's glory. May his grace be visible on you. May his peace overwhelm you today. Thank you, Rosendo. Thank you for always sending in those nice thoughts, man. That is very kind of you, sir. Appreciate you. And all of you out there responding about the sound, I appreciate. I'm trying to catch up to everything. Jay Gelfin says, good morning, Orlando. Over 90 people on the chat, only 34 likes. What's up with that? Well, there's 155 now, so let's smash the like button. It's very, very, very important that you smash the like button. Really helps out. It gets the algorithms going. It appears on more people's search engines when they're looking for South Florida type sports stuff. So extremely important that you hit that like button. It really is. And of course, when you visit our sponsors like Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures, where you get 50% off, make sure you mention us. Okay. Pallet Rack City, make sure you mention us. Caneswear, Sports Grill, Acura Pembroke Pines. You see what I'm saying? American Dream Lending. $1,000 credit towards your closing. Make sure you mention us. Perfect Q says, as long as Jesse Davis is not on this O-line, we have a chance. Poor, the guys on the O-line, the guys on the O-line can basically be piñatas, right? That's kind of what we're lining up every week right now. Right? It's 5 piñatas that are lined up at this point in time. That's what we're seeing right now. O-line piñatas. In fact, I hear Cuban bakeries all throughout South Florida are now creating Austin Jackson piñatas, Michael Dieter piñatas, Liam Eichenberg piñatas, Jesse Davis piñatas. So if you have a son or daughter that is a Doll fan, buy them an O-line piñata. There you go. Stuff it up with candy. They can whack the hell of it because D-lines are whacking the hell out of the O-line. Our fan base is whacking the hell out of the O-line. The media is whacking the hell out of the O-line, right? So we might as well call them the Piñata Boys. All right? So from now on, until the O-line graduates and starts playing well, they are now known, a.k.a. the Piñata Boys. All right? That's it. That we got a name for them now. You know, always there's been the no-name defense. There's the Killer Bees, right? There's the Marx Brothers. And now we have the Piñata Boys. How about that? We got to make shirts now of the Piñata Boys. 5 dudes, and they just have all those little papers that are stuck to them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I feel bad for the O-line, man. I feel bad for the O-line. We are killing the O-line, man. There's no hope for those guys. We're just trashing them. Too funny, man. Too funny. Let's see. Danny Hathaway says it sounds as if Tua is losing what fan base he had. It's not losing a fan base. It's there's part of you that weren't even on his bandwagon anymore. But it's just a matter of confidence, man. You know, the one thing I was concerned about, reared its ugly head, injuries and durability. And the kid gets a first bad hit and he's out now for a few weeks. So it's demoralizing is what it is. But it plays with your mind. This is why I'm fighting the whole being negative and giving up on these guys because I still feel it's not fair right now. Even with Tua. I'm just not ready to – I want to give them the opportunity. I can't say that Tua's had a fair opportunity yet to actually go out there. He hasn't had the moments that he needs. You know, I'm watching Sam Darnold yesterday, and he looks much more comfortable, but he also had a hell of a lot more time to throw than Tua. And I'm going, wow, if Tua only had that kind of time to throw the ball, he'd be picking Buffalo apart, but what are you going to do, man? It's tough. Oh, we're listening to the Big O Show at 10 a.m. We don't work. We're doing slip and fall claims at Winn-Dixie. Steven Caparella says Dolphins will bounce back strong. Can Miami run an old school draw to combat the rush once in a while? Let's see. Miguel Garcia says Jakeem Grant is elite according to Big O. As a returner, he is. How many returners are better than Jakeem Grant in the NFL? Can't even name more than 3 or 4. So he is elite as a returner. That's always what I've said. You can twist it however you want, but I've never said that I've always said love him as a returner, keep him as a returner, and don't even play him at wide receiver. If you play him at wide receiver, he's a decoy more often than not. That's what I've said. But I mean, you're entitled to make up whatever you want because that's how it is in this world. People don't, they want to listen to whatever. I thought Joy Taylor was awesome yesterday or the day before that Carson Wentz was talking about, on his foot injury. Well, I'll listen to the doctors. And then she goes, oh, he'll listen to the doctors for that because he doesn't want to take the vaccine. So it's funny. Like, okay, so if the doctors are lying to you about vaccines, for those of you that think they're lies, well, why aren't they lying to you about your injuries? I thought that was funny. Some of these coaches, including the head coach, needs a better scheme on both sides. The frightening thing of last week was seeing no adjustments. That's where that statement makes no sense. They've made adjustments throughout the first 2 years, and they've done a great job making adjustments. That's one of their strengths. Players didn't adjust. You can't do anything. You can't adjust when Jesse Davis doesn't block a guy. When Solomon Kinley's whiffing on people. When Devontae Parker's dropping a wide open touchdown. When Albert Wilson and Jakeem Grant are dropping passes left and right. You can't do anything about that. That's not a matter of adjusting. The players failed last week. That's it. Now, coaches did fail to a certain extent. You were dumb enough to play Jakeem Grant at wide receiver. You were stupid enough to throw it to Albert Wilson twice. So, yeah, there were things that are kind of dumb that went on last week. And I do have to label those moves as dumb. The fact you're counting on those guys doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Mike Honcho says, Big O, in your opinion, will the Dolphins give time for Tua to continue to develop? A lot of his issues aren't necessarily his fault. I know, but that's why I'm not ready to give up on Tua. But the key, my brother, and like I said yesterday, while he's out now, the effing O-line has to play better, dude. They have to find a way to be serviceable at least. They have to give their quarterbacks some kind of time. That's it. If they don't, hey, Jacoby Brissett is, he's a veteran. At least with Tua, okay, he's young. He hasn't even played a whole season. Whatever. He can make a mistake or two but Jacoby's got plenty of experience and he got killed last week. Had nothing to do with the quarterbacks. Because, some of you have this whole thing, oh, well, Tua has to protect himself. Dude, Tua can't protect himself behind that line. Nobody can protect themselves behind that line. It doesn't matter what quarterback you are. I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Was it Pat Mahomes' fault in the Super Bowl? That's where this whole narratives, okay, because some of you go in with Tua's got to protect himself. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. When your line sucks, there's nothing you can do, morons. Anybody telling you, Tua's got to protect himself, just say, hey, how did it go for Pat Mahomes, who's more athletic than Tua and got his ass kicked last year in the Super Bowl? You're going to say he had to protect himself? Idiots. Oh, he's got to protect himself. No, you can't protect yourself behind 5 piñatas. Lazy. It's all it is. It's lazy hosts, lazy writers, lazy fans, lazy TV hosts. They're all lazy. Tua's got to protect himself. You cannot protect yourself behind 5 piñatas. That's just reaching. Now you want to blame Tua for a shitty line. You want to blame Tua for 4 guys that have 0 experience doing what they're doing at this level. Oh, and I'm sorry, a journeyman right tackle. Jesse Davis should be a 6th man. If he's your starter, you are not putting together a good enough offensive line. Are we clear now? Tua's got to protect himself. The hell out of here, dude. Did you watch Brissett get killed? Lazy takes, dude. Lazy takes. It's what it is. They don't actually watch the damn game. They just repeat what somebody else says. Some guy on the network said, well, this, that, or some guy on ESPN, or they heard it locally from somebody, or somebody wrote it. Bunch of crap. Has nothing to do with Tua. That they were going to kill his ass no matter what because the 5 guys up front can't do their damn job. That's it. And all I got to do is liken it to Mahomes during the Super Bowl, who got his ass handed to him because his line couldn't block. Had nothing to do with protection he called and all that crap. And he's got more experience than Tua, and he's the most elite quarterback we have in the NFL. And he got his ass kicked because it happens. If your line sucks, Ask Andrew Luck. Oh, he's got to do better in protections year in and year out. No, they got to do a better job of getting him an offensive line. You idiots. Laziest take out there. Oh, Tua got to protect himself. How the hell do you protect yourself behind those guys? You know what you need? 5 more behind them, and then 5 more behind those guys. And then if he had a 15-man line, yeah, there we go. All right. James Vivinetti says, I'm in, Big O. And he reminds us, smash the like button, please. Brissett takes about 3 seconds to let go of the ball. O-line better, man up. He threw some good passes last week, man. He did his best too while he's there. And he got mortalized at the same time. So what are you going to do? Anyway, if you want to get in, remember 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, you can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. What else do we have? By the way, I'm going in, late November. I'm going to Atlanta. And I'm going to go see Metallica and Greta Van Fleet. So I'm, setting up my plane ticket and all that. And I looked it up, and I didn't realize that Cage the Elephant is also there. So I'm going to get to go see Greta, Cage the Elephant, and Metallica in one show. That is going to be awesome. Any of you out there in Atlanta, love to hang out with you, have a beer, meet you guys at a bar somewhere. It's got to be close to the stadium, by the way, in that area. I've been in that area. So if you're in Atlanta, I'll be there. What is it, like November 30th or something like that? Going to go to Atlanta, go see Metallica, Greta Van Fleet, and Cage the Elephant. That is one awesome concert. That's the kind of show that, that's the kind of show I like right there, dude. Holy crap. That is awesome. Eric Storm says, most important position on a football team are O-line and D-line, not QB, not running back, not wide receiver, not linebacker, not DB. Games have been always won in the trenches. Amen? Amen. And that's where I give them a lot of credit, that they've spent a lot of draft capital on the O and D lines. And I have no problem with that. And yes, they've played like crap, but I'm not ready to give up on those kids. They're still way too young to give up on them. But they are playing like crap. And there's nobody is going to survive behind that line. And if they can't block Ngakoue or Crosby, then Brissett is not going to last long, and you're going to have Sinet. You're going to go from Brissett to Sinet. That's what's going to end up happening. And then you'll find yourself looking for another quarterback out on the street. And I'm sure those guys, at one point, they've got to, wake up and say, all right, we got to protect them. The edge landed on Tua, which should have been a roughing the passer. I dare anybody to let anyone same weight jump and land on your ribs while you're laying down. Bottom line is, dude gets injured all the time, bro. There's no excuses and how he landed and this and that. Well, then you know what? Get him an effing leprechaun and hang it from his neck. I don't want to hear that, oh, well, he has bad luck. Well, I'm sorry, bro. Then he's bad luck schleprock, and every time he gets hit, it ends up becoming an injury. Oh, no, the ankle was a freakish. Oh, the hip was a freakish. The other ankle was a freakish injury. Oh, the rib is a freakish injury. They landed on him. Enough's enough, man. Okay? That's the concern I had with him, and that's the part I can't give him, for lack of a better term, a break on that one. All right? I don't want to hear any of this BS where, well, the way he got hit and this and that. And if he, it's the way he got tackled, and that's why it's freakish that he injured his hip. And the bottom line is he gets injured all the time. He is injury prone. Tua Tagovailoa is a fragile football player. Those are the facts. And I get it. I would be fragile. You would be fragile. Most all of us would never last on that field. But the trick of that sport is that you're freakish enough to find a way to stay healthy or healthy enough to play. So that's the requirements. There's no sympathy if you're constantly getting injured. It's just, unfortunately, we got to find somebody else. That's what the attitude, that's what the prevailing attitude will end up being. If you're unreliable, you're Carson Wentz, we will discard you. What are you going to do, man? You're always injured. Part of the territory, right? Do people have faith in Carson Wentz, even his injury sheet, as long as his rap album? Carson Wentz raps? I had no idea he raps. I knew he's a sack of injuries. Nobody trusts him. That's why they got rid of him in Philadelphia. He got so many injuries. He was a head case, and get the hell out of here. Happens all the time, man. Once you've been labeled injury prone and you're unreliable, they will get rid of you. Let's see. Big O, isn't that Metallica concert going to be in Daytona Beach? I was thinking about going. Well, I got the tickets in Atlanta, my man. So I'm not sure if it's also in Daytona. It might be. I don't know. I'm going to the Atlanta show. That's all I can tell you. And looking forward to it. Big O digging into a blind ass fan that goes, speaking of going in one ear and right on the other, I'm seeing Cage the Elephant. That's called smooth transition, folks. That's right. I wanted to change it up a little bit. I'm going to go see Cage the Elephant because our 5 elephants up front aren't blocking. What can I tell you? Oh, man. All right, so we await Omar Kelly, by the way. He was supposed to join us at 10:30. Sent them a message. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, looks like we're going to get him at 12:15 is what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So I guess we will be heavy towards the end. Oh, Lordy. All right. So there you go. 12:15 will be Omar. 11:30 will be Ira Winderman. Okay. Sex Symbol says concerts are more entertaining than Miami sports. I mean, at the moment, yeah, I guess so, right? But I mean, the Dolphins, are you already done with the Dolphins at 1-1? I get the Canes. The Canes are a mess. They're done. The Marlins are done. Inter Miami's done. You know what I mean? They made their little run and all that. Now they've kind of gone back to where they were before. So, there's probably a good chance they're not making the playoffs. There's enough games left, but they're not a good team. So it's just one of those things. They had a little run. It was nice. So I kind of get it, but I'm not ready to give up on the Dolphins. I'm just not. And can't wait for the Heat too, so we can get that going. Last night, I'm watching the Carolina game, and while I'm watching the Carolina game, I'm discussing crypto with a couple of friends at the same time. I'm chatting back and forth, texting back and forth with one friend. Another friend that I hadn't talked to in a long time reaches out to me because he found us on YouTube. And he goes to me, dude, I had no idea you were like this, like crazy into crypto. And I said, yeah, man, been into crypto for a while. So we were all talking. So I was having 2 different crypto conversations with both of them. And that was more entertaining than the game to watch last night. Because really, let's be honest, the Carolina-Houston game, it's only interesting to Carolina because they're undefeated. I can't imagine in Houston they're even looking forward to this season with everything going on. But yeah, it shows you that sometimes other things are more entertaining than sports. I had more fun talking and chatting crypto last night with a couple of dudes than I did actually watching that game last night. Although watching the game last night, speaking of injuries, no matter how good Christian McCaffrey is, right? He is still a sack of injuries, right? That's with McCaffrey, you can almost count on him getting injured. And I was laughing my ass off yesterday, last night, because while I'm chatting and talking crypto while I'm watching the game, instead, I hear Troy Aikman say, well, I went down to the field and I never go down. I haven't been down to the field in years. And I'm down there and I'm looking at Christian McCaffrey. And let me tell you something. He's not a small guy. And he starts comparing his legs to Earl Campbell. And he goes, no, I was down there. And let me tell you, you remember Earl Campbell. And then within minutes, he suffers his hamstring injury and he's out. And, my tip for Troy Aikman would be stay in the booth. Just do me a favor. Stay in the booth. I watched Earl Campbell, bro. And yes, McCaffrey is a fantastic athlete, terrific football player. I get that. But don't ever compare him to Earl Campbell. Please don't ever compare him to Earl Campbell. And he doesn't have Earl Campbell's legs. He doesn't have, what was it? The Newsome kid from Dallas. You remember that fullback that was a badass that used to block for Dorsett? What was Newsome's first name? Newsome had Earl Campbell like that. That's the only guy that I remember that had Earl Campbell like thighs. And it ain't Christian McCaffrey. And Earl Campbell's not going out with hamstring injuries, okay? Because Earl Campbell had 2 semi-suspension, what's it called? The springs for legs. Earl Campbell. I almost fell off my couch, which is pretty hard to fall off a couch, when I heard him make any kind of comparison from Christian McCaffrey physically to Earl Campbell. I'm like, huh? What? Huh? Like, really? Are you sure you saw Earl Campbell play? Are you sure you know something about Earl Campbell? One of you had the name? Let me see. Nobody has the name for Newsome. Robert Newsome. You are right, Andy. It was Robert. That's right. That dude had some thighs. That's the dude that had the Earl Campbell-like thighs. That guy, for you youngins out there, go ahead. You can Google that dude. That dude's thighs were thick as a house, bro. They were like those telephone poles you have outside. Well, some of you, right? Like, I don't have any telephone poles in my neighborhood, but some neighborhoods, older neighborhoods still have it. Robert Newhouse. Did I say Newsome? I'm sorry, Newhouse, right? I said Newsome, right? Newhouse. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, King Short. I appreciate you. Hey, I think Miami will sit Tua for the rest of the season so he can get healthy, and then these guys will trade him. Why even play him if this O-line can't improve? I love the attitude of they're done already. Like, there's no shot they'll improve. We're only in the second game. There's 15 games left. Let's just put Tua on the IR. Screw the kid. Let's just wash away his second season. Let's not even find out if he can actually play. What the hell? Let's give up on the line. Let's give up on the quarterback. Let's not play any of. In fact, why don't we do this? Why don't we actually get 5 real piñatas and just line them up and have the 5 guys retire? I mean, listen, Biden's giving away enough money. They can give it to the offensive linemen and they can hang out too, like, 10% of America right now. Why not? Biden's like Oprah. Salary for you, salary for you, salary for you. So what the hell? Let's just give up on it all. I'm with you there, bro. Way to go. So it's all. Let's give up on them all. You guys are a trip, man. It's really amazing how I spend my last couple months trying to walk some of you off the crypto what's it called, cliff, and explain to you, buy the dip, take advantage, don't believe the FUD. In fact, that was one of the conversations that I was having with a friend of mine yesterday about the FUD. That don't believe the FUD. There's always a whole bunch of BS. Like the SEC guy came out and said, "Oh, I don't see a future in crypto and this and that." I love these people. I don't see a future in crypto. Meanwhile, every corporation and major investment firm is getting into crypto. Countries are buying Bitcoin. China, with all the crap that they talk about, they're behind VeChain. VeChain is going to be one of the biggest cryptocurrencies over the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to grow into an absolute monster. What they're doing in the government, what they're doing at a higher level is trying to keep you stupid, is what they're trying to do. Because less than 5% of the world actually knows what the hell crypto is all about. So when they give you some FUD, since you don't know shit, you'll believe it. Meanwhile, every indication that's out there is completely opposite of that. Why? Because the feds and banking and these major corporations know that they're about to be taken out, that they no longer will screw up our futures like they have already and like they've done already. That's the problem. They know what's coming. They know DeFi is going to take them apart. So for several months, I've been trying to talk some of you off the ledge and explaining to you that if you are invested, stay strong, hodl, buy the effing dip, that kind of stuff. And it seems like I have to walk Dolphin fans off the ledge of giving up on the team already after 2 games and 1 terrible performance. It's kind of the same conversation. Either I'm trying to talk crypto holders off the ones that don't know much off the ledge, and Dolphin fans, I'm trying to talk them off the ledge. That's all that goes on now. Those are my conversations. Now, as for the Canes, I'm not talking you off the ledge. I already jumped off. I'm done. I jumped off the illusional Golden Gate already as it is. Not that I would make light of it. I'm just saying I'm done. I have completely given up on Canes football. But the Dolphins, come on, man. You got to have more faith than that. You got to be stronger than that. They have been stronger. They've proven it to you in the first 2 years. Guys got to have the resiliency that the Dolphins have shown you the last 2 years. Joel Love says, what happened to enjoying the experience of watching your team, good, bad, or ugly? Well, it's hard to enjoy ugly. Let's be fair now, Joel. But see, here's my problem with that. Ugly was just last week. Last season wasn't ugly. 10-6. There's nothing ugly about last season. And even in the first season, while it started ugly, it ended pretty, man. It ended beautiful. Making Brady and Belichick go to the wild card round so their dynasty is over. Man, that was a beautiful way of ending that season. And last year, 10-6, I didn't expect 10-6. Awesome. So why am I going to give up on you after 1-1? I get it, dude. It sucked last week. was frustrating. I'm sorry. I'm not that person that gives up that easy. You know. Carlos Sands says Sam Darnold moved on from the Jets, and look how well he's already doing. Better O-line, better running back, and better offensive coordinator. He also got away from what's it called? From Adam Gase. That helps, my brother. That helps big time when you get away from Adam Gase. And that let me tell you, yesterday was an indictment on Adam Gase. That's what that was yesterday. Yesterday, it was one of those where if Adam Gase is watching, it was a bad look for him because he's been a failure at the two places he's been as a head coach. He's a guy that has trouble communicating with people. He invented social distancing before social distancing actually existed and he did it on the sidelines where nobody could even be close to that guy. And Sam Darnold was an absolute mess with Adam Gase. And now he looks comfortable. Now he's overall making good decisions. So Matt Rule, somehow or another, and his staff found a comfort zone for the kid. And this gives Adam Gase another bad look, which, I mean, how much more money is that guy going to steal from this league? But that's what you saw yesterday. Yesterday was another bad look, another crazy eyes look for Adam Gase. And you've got to be crazy if you want to hire that guy to be around your football team, to be around your quarterback, to be around your offense. It shows you, too, that X's and O's isn't everything, too. You got to be able to deal with people. You got to be able to handle adversity, things like that. I definitely can understand when you've got to deal with incompetence. Lord knows I've had to deal with that myself. But the bottom line is, if they're not incompetent and you're the problem, then you saw what happened in Miami. You saw what happened with the New York Jets. Maybe the people that were around him weren't the issue. It's the dude that was in the center creating all the problems. And look, I don't know if the future is better for the Jets without Adam Gase. Who knows what Robert Saleh is going to bring to the table. I don't know if the kid they have, at quarterback is going to be any good. See, here's the thing. I love how a lot of these people for the BYU kid, they already sold out for him. Like, okay, this guy's going to be good. And, Justin Herbert, okay, he's put up some stats. Oh, he's going to be good. We haven't seen any of these guys long enough yet to actually think whether they're going to be good, bad, or great. You need to see these young men in all kinds of adverse situations, and then you'll get a good feel for where these quarterbacks are at. Justin Herbert hasn't played for anything yet. So we'll find out when there's pressure and against good teams. And what is he going to do? Martin, he's a baby. Yeah, I know he had the 4 interception day and all that. And I wouldn't give up on the kid and say he's terrible. But I'm also not going to tell you he's arrived like some people out there. You need to see them for a few years to actually figure out what the hell you have. Because sometimes a guy's just a front runner. Sometimes a guy's just a game manager, like the kid with the Patriots. So far, yeah, he showed me a little moxie. He can take some hits, but I still haven't really seen him be a difference maker where he's putting up a lot of points. But it's way too early to make any kind of a determination on the kid. But all of those guys, they all made it. Herbert made it. Martin made it. Mac Jones made it. But no, not Tua. We've seen enough of him, and we don't need to see any more of the other guys. Because that's kind of what's been thrown out there. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's get ready for hour number 2 at 11:30 Ira Winderman will be joining us. We'll talk a little Heat and NBA basketball with Ira, but we'll come back, talk a little more NFL. I do have to give you my picks also against the spread. Remember, we're at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes this Sunday, starting off at 2 o'clock. We will have the Dolphins-Raiders pregame show.
Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchased with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
We are back, hour number 2 of the program. And, of course, we want to remind you, starting October 4th, which is not this Monday, next Monday, we will be at Hialeah Park every Monday after that. So if you want to catch us at Hialeah Park, we got a bunch of things going on at Hialeah Park. I know I saw it yesterday when I was there. They're building Santa's Enchanted Forest, which will be there. They're going to have some great boxing events coming. It'll be on ESPN. They're going to have several undefeated Cuban boxers that are going to be on the fight card, including not a Cuban boxer, but Robert Daniels Jr., I believe, from Carroll City, if I remember Robert Daniels. This is his son, Robert Daniels Jr., for those of us that maybe follow a little boxing. That's going to happen. Plus some other things are going to be announced also at Hialeah Park. So looking forward to that. Sex Symbol says, the other guys make their team instantly competitive. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. First of all, Sex Symbol, when you're comparing other quarterbacks and to what the Tua situation is, let me ask you something. What have the Chargers beaten? What are you talking about competitive? Did they end up 10-6? I must have missed that. Has he won against quality teams? And Zach Martin, are the Jets competitive? And as for Mac Jones, let me ask you something. If you get that game that Miami won 17-16, and you give Tua New England's line, and you give Tua New England's running game, and you give Mac Jones Miami's running game along with Miami's offensive line, how competitive do you think Mac Jones will be, and how much more competitive do you think Tua will be? See, that's where your statement makes zero sense. But again, I mean, listen, man, you can believe whatever you want. If you want to believe that, go ahead, knock yourself out, dude. Make yourself feel better about it, but that's a lazy take that makes no sense whatsoever. Jay Gelfin says, "Oh, I haven't given up on the Finns. However, like I told you pre and post draft, I don't see Tua making it big in the NFL. He's too fragile." And I can't, that's my only concern with the kid. So I can't argue. I can't tell you about, as I can argue with people and have a discussion about whether we think he can succeed with his talent, which I am more than convinced he can succeed with the ability that the good Lord blessed him with. He can be a hell of a quarterback. He can be an elite quarterback in this game with his ability. But as Jay pointed out, I can't argue it because that's the one concern I've always had with Tua is that he's injury prone. He's not a durable kid, you know? And sadly, I love these guys. I love what Chris Greer is doing. I love what Flo is doing. I think they missed out here on putting too many young guys in front of a fragile quarterback. That I think they bit more than they could chew there. I think they should have done a better job of finding veteran players that are proven veteran players, good veteran players. They should have put a couple of those guys on this line to make it a little better. That's the one thing that I will disagree with them. And I think they hurt Tua because of that. And they hurt themselves because of that too. Let's see. What else do we have here? Big O, why hasn't Miami hired a good OC, which is imperative in the NFL today? What was wrong with this OC? I'm not sure what's wrong with the OCs. What did the OC have to do with everybody dropping footballs, my man? And what does the OCs have anything to do with the front office and the head coach giving them 4 linemen that are untested and unproven? Let me ask you something, dude. You know what I'm going to do, Darren? I'm going to ask you to make me a pizza. Okay? I want you to go and make me a pizza, but all I'm going to give you is grass from the street. And not weed. I'm talking about just grass, just regular blades of grass. That's all I'm going to give you. No flour. Not going to give you any cheese. Not going to give you any sauce. Not going to give you any veggies. What kind of a pizza are you going to make for me? Pretty shitty one, right? So, all right. So here's your offensive coordinators this week. We're going to give you a line that can't block, so you won't be able to run. A line that can block, so your quarterback has no time. But the few times your quarterback will have an opportunity, Devontae Parker will drop a touchdown. The few times that you will have an opportunity, well, when you get down there in the red zone, Albert Wilson chooses not to catch it. Jakeem Grant, not really into the catching thing. So what's the offensive coordinators have anything to do with that? You want me to make you a really nice steak? Well, where's the meat? How's it the offensive coordinator's fault? Come on, man. Would you hear somebody else say that? Did you get it off a Facebook post? Lazy takes, man. It's one of the things that I tell people in crypto too. It's do your homework, read up, check it out. Even if I talk about a coin, I'm not a financial advisor. I tell you, do your own homework. Even if somebody says something about the Dolphins, take a moment to take some inventory on the comment. Okay, is there substance to this? Is it really the OC's fault because they don't pick the talent? Hard to be a great OC when they give you no offensive line. So I got you. I got you, Robert. I got you. It's Andy Reid's fault No, I'm sorry. This is what's it called? It's Eric Bieniemy's fault. He's the offensive coordinator. There we go. I'm sorry. So let's fire Eric Bieniemy. In fact, this is why he's not getting a head coaching job, because in the Super Bowl his team sucked, and it's all Eric Bieniemy's fault. It's not that the offensive line sucked and Pat Mahomes got his ass kicked. No. Let's blame the offensive coordinator, because he should have overcome a shitty line. Right? That's how I like to spin some of this stuff, because you look at it one way, but then when I put it in another situation, how are you going to do it? Well, what are you going to explain? Right? It's the whole protection bullshit, right? Oh, Tua's got to protect himself. Oh, okay, I guess Pat Mahomes a dumbass too in the Super Bowl. When your line sucks, dude. You're going to get beaten up. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Oh, no, he's got to call protections from what? Paper mache that's in front of him? Wait a minute. What kind of pizza, what kind of grass is on the pizza? Well, that's what I said. I said no weed. Okay, you got to pay attention, Perfect Q. Because I knew you guys were going to go there. Oh, how can we store with eagles when we work? Oh, how can we soar? It says store. Okay, how can we soar with eagles when we work with a bunch of turkeys? Boom. That's it, my friend. Think for yourselves, man. Don't repeat what another lazy host says, or a writer that's completely off, or a talking head on ESPN or Fox or something like that. Think for yourselves. Is it really that Tua couldn't protect himself, or is it that it doesn't matter who he calls, man? They weren't going to adjust. What kind of protection do you have to call when Jesse Davis is standing right in front of the guy, and then he's right behind the guy the next time around? We're all going to feel much better if the Dolphins are able to find a way to win on Sunday. And even if they lose, 1-2 ain't giving up on my squad. Fins up. I'm not giving up either. I never give up, even when they were 0-7. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I have faith that they're going to put up a respectable fight this week. I really do. St. Augustine grass, not 420 on that pizza. MTG Ectoplasm says, who is supposed to coach up the offensive line? I'll wait. Well, it's hard to coach up when you're not playing well. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. You're just not good enough at this point in time. But I'm not going to blame the offensive coordinator, because the offensive coordinator is not the offensive line coach. That's Lemon Pure or whatever his name is, right? Lempierre or something like that. Happy Friday, Big O Nation. I'm an hour late, but better late than never. Smash the like button. That's what Tony Zagalis says, and he is correct. Please smash the like button. Dougie Fresh says, oh, have you watched the Rick Rubin plus McCarthy episodes yet? No, I have not. I'll do that this weekend, now that I'll be able to hang out for the next 36 hours. When I get off the air, I get to relax today, tonight, tomorrow, all of that. I slept short last night, went to sleep closer to 1, but man, that CBD is a lot. The short amount of time that I'm in bed, but man, I am sleeping deeper. I gotta say, I'm sleeping deeper. That thing is helping me get some sleep, man. Yeah, I'm waking up less. I'm waking up like from deep sleeps. So that will help. I need some rest this weekend. So I will enjoy, and then I will recover, and I will get ready for Sunday. And hopefully the Dolphins will shock the world and win, which would be nice. I would personally, for me, I want them to win just for your mental state, you know, because it seems like there's a lot of you that are in a really bad place right now. And you refuse to look at what's happened the first 2 years under Flo. You refuse to look at the resiliency that they have shown in the past. The fact that the only time they really played bad for a long stretch was at the beginning of the first year. Overall, they have adjusted and they have figured out ways to be very competitive, even in games that you didn't think they could be competitive. And it's we almost need a win just to kind of remind you that you got a pretty damn good coach. Are they perfect? Man, this is Flo's first go round. This is Chris Greer's first go round as general managers. You know, your first go round on anything in life. I don't care if you just had a baby and you're a father and a first-time father and mother, you're gonna make mistakes. And then if you have a second baby and a third baby, you'll make less mistakes because of experience, because you've done it before. And for us to think that they're going to be like, whether it's the offensive line, they put too many young guys, or this past week that pissed me off about Jakeem Grant and Albert Wilson, and you're depending on those guys. And especially with Jakeem, who has constantly failed you at wide receiver, leave him in his comfort zone, man. Leave him as a returner. He's freaking awesome as a returner. Leave him there. That's what he's great at. So there are things, they're not going to be perfect, and I'm not going to agree with everything that they do. I never agreed that Albert Wilson should be on the damn roster. But I'm not giving up on these guys because I understand they're human beings. They're not going to be perfect. And this is why I told you we must show patience, because they now have no politics in the way right now. We had general managers in the past that they were in the middle of politics all the time. Spielman was constantly fighting Wanstead for power. And then he leaves to Minnesota, and he's done a really good job overall, outside of the quarterback, but he's found everything else. Jeff Ireland was involved in the Sperano and Joe Philbin and all the other politics that was going on during that time. And he made his share of mistakes too. But he also found players in the process for the Dolphins also. He made some terrible trades, picked some terrible players. He also picked some good players. But then he went on to New Orleans and has become an excellent college director of scouting for them. He is credited for most of their hits over the last couple of years. All those guys made their mistakes here. Ladies and gentlemen, they didn't hire a ready-made general manager, and there were none of them out there anyway. So you got your general manager, and he's not going to be perfect. They've been fantastic since they took over. But one game, all of a sudden, and in the injury, that's it. It's over. I want the win for your mental health. I'm serious. There's a lot of you out there that you're freaking losing it, man. And there's no reason to lose it. Be calm, be cool. Again, I compare it to crypto. Okay, so you bought Bitcoin at 57,000 when it soared up to 65. And then there was a correction that it went down to 28. You don't go selling it at 35. You hodl, you hold it. You buy it again at 28 and 31 and 35. And then it'll climb back up again. And it'll pass 57 eventually. And you'll go back to making money off that purchase. But meanwhile, on the dip, you bought it cheaper than you ever were. So now you're making profits off of that. And the patience instead of the panic will end up paying off for you. But people didn't understand that. You got to stay strong. Ladies and gentlemen, I get it. It's been a long time of suffering. So I'm asking you a lot to stay strong. But for those of you that clearly aren't staying strong and you have completely pushed the panic button and you're off the bandwagon, I want the win for you mostly. Because if they win with Brissett, then at least you're going to go, okay, well, no, these guys, man, this is a good coaching staff. They overcame the injury at quarterback. They're winning with their backup quarterback. They found a way to get it done. I feel better about what's going on. And if the offensive line, like I said in the first hour, can come in with an attitude of like, you know what, I'm tired of people talking shit about us. I need to go out there and play. And they come up with a hell of a performance. But I want the win mostly for all of you out there that have already absolutely lost it. And you're done. And I feel bad for you because you're overreacting. Just like you're overreacting about, oh, Tua's got to protect himself. Oh, no, the offensive coordinator is the problem. And, all these silly accusations that are baseless. That's it. So I'm hoping things come up with a W. I hope on Sunday when Sean and I are at Sports Grill and we're doing the post-game show, I hope that we're talking about a victory and some of you are like, okay, all right, we're going through some rough waters, but we got the front office, we got a coaching staff. They'll figure things out. It'll get better. That's what I need. A win will go far in making you guys feel a little better about everything. Because right now, brother, you're throwing the baby and the bathwater out. You're throwing everything out. Thought it would be crazy to give up 5 picks for Watson. After looking at the past 2 drafts, maybe it's not so crazy. I like to compare it to a cheating wife, not crypto. Wow, that's rough. Jacoby Brissett will show better QB play. I bet you see those deep balls too. Well, just let's hope they catch them. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Just want them to catch them. I saw some of them last week. Just catch them. Big O went out in the backyard, throw the football for 1.97 seconds with my 250-pound neighbor running at me from full speed. Result, can't see straight. And my daughter called me his bitch. It's Kyle Delaney. That's a good one, Kyle. I like that. That's good. That's a good text, my brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for making me laugh. Fred Davis says, Kevin Edwards was a nice shooting guard with the Heat. Okay, not sure where that came from. Although I'll tell you my favorite Kevin Edwards highlight. I believe it was against the Hawks. Not sure. Maybe Charlotte. He breaks his nose at halftime, right before the half. They go at halftime, and he had like maybe 2 points or something. Kevin Edwards was quiet and unassuming. So Kevin Edwards comes out in the second half with that face mask, that plastic face mask and the thing on, and I had never seen him ever play more possessed in my life. I swear he scored 20 points in the second half. He was dunking on fools. The Miami arena was popping, baby. I was there. I was a season ticket holder in those days. I wasn't in the business at that time. This was like maybe 2 years before I got in the business. And that's my favorite Kevin Edwards moment. He came out with that face mask, and he would have none of that, dude. That was awesome. Awesome moment for Kevin Edwards. It's over 30 years ago, and I still remember it vividly. I'm still trying to figure out the team. I think it was Atlanta or Charlotte. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Chris Adams says, Big O, be careful what you wish for. If we get this win, when we get this win, they're going to come out of the woodwork. We need Jacoby Brissett as a starter. Tua is a bomb. These fans will never stop. No, you're right. You're right. I was thinking of the same thing, Chris, that you'll have your fan base that are like, oh, yeah, he's better and we can win with him. Screw Tua and all that, for sure. Chority says, not sure how you see the Finns winning against the Raiders. Bad O-line, average backup QB playing, no running game, receivers dropping passes, plus a super hot Derek Carr doesn't look good. Well, Miami has a great secondary. Okay, if Miami can get some pressure on Derek Carr and make him uncomfortable, maybe they can limit that offense. I know stopping Waller is going to be a pain in the ass, and Ruggs is a little up and down. He hasn't arrived yet, but he is dangerous as hell. He can catch a deep one on you if if you're sleeping. The Edwards kid is pretty good too, so I get it. But Miami has a secondary, and they got a good defensive-minded coach. It's really all on the offense, my brother. And if they can go out there, this is why I'm hoping that the line can come up with they can't play any worse. So hopefully somehow or another they come up with their better game. You know what I'm saying? If they can, and I'm not assuming that, Albert Wilson and Jakeem Grant are going to be a big part of it this week. Hopefully they're not, and hopefully they will hang on to the ball. So, yeah, I know it's a lot to ask, but I'm not going to give up on these guys. I'm not going to assume that everybody's going to drop passes, and I'm not going to assume that the offensive line can't get better when they're young. I believe they all have the opportunity of getting better. In the end, we all know they're not all going to make it. Some of these guys are going to be busts, but I don't believe that all 5 of them are going to be busts. I just don't believe that. I truly believe a couple of these guys are going to come through and are going to help this team and become good players. I don't know about great, but good players. We just haven't given it a time to actually develop and happen. Detroit's Taylor Decker may be trade possibility. They're 0-2 and drafted Sewell, who's playing well. They need wide receivers. Maybe one of our wide receivers in a second-day pick. We shall see, my brother. Big O, I agree with you, says Justin, and your take on giving Flo and Greer some time. I don't think Tua is the guy. I don't like the gimmick Wildcat offense and QB. I don't like the gimmick RPO offense today. Well, all of that you would like if it were. I mean, the Wildcat stuff is garbage. That's more, that's nothing. But the RPO, I don't have a problem. Once you get a line and a running game, it'll look better. Jacoby playing great will make things interesting. Line has to give him time. I don't know about playing great, but if Line gives him time, maybe they got a shot. Perfect Q says, I'd like to have the problem of starting Brissett or Tua if we go on a winning streak. That would be nice. That would be nice. Tuttle is in. She says, rock solid. Can you play the blind ass fan alert for me for Albert Wilson? Of course.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Just for you, Tuttle. All right, let me take a quick break. Hopefully Ira Winderman will be joining us any second now, and we'll have a little fun with it. And by the way, Manny Navarro will be at 12:45, not 12:30. And we will be joined by Ira Winderman when we come back here on the break.
Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
There he is, Ira Winderman. No glasses. He's McGraw now, so he's definitely on target. I can see that you've got the timing just right, my brother.
I can see clearly now. So I guess eventually the rain must fall if they're hitting 3-pointers. We shall see.
No doubt about that. All right, Heat Camp. Talk to us a little bit about what you're expecting early on from Heat Camp.
It's interesting, because I'm working on a story for next week about whether there will be any battles in training camp. And you know how it is with Coach Flores and Coach Diaz. They always try to create battles because when you have competition, there's a heightened sense of urgency. I don't see that in this Heat camp. I think, you and I would both be very surprised if the opening night starting lineup is not Bam Adebayo, PJ Tucker, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, and Kyle Lowry. I would take it a step further. I think you and I both would also be very surprised if the first three reserves off the bench aren't Dwayne Dedmon at center, Markieff Morris at forward, Tyler Hero at guard. So I think I've sort of given you 8 deep. So the battles in camp might be whether a Max Strus can be a rotation player, whether Gabe Vincent will be loose again, whether Gabe Vincent will be the de facto backup point guard, whether Omar Yurtseven might actually get some quality minutes. A player I wrote about today just posted at sunsentinel.com, whether Caleb Martin with 2 full years in the NBA might become a factor with his outside shooting. There will be subtle battles. But this is a team that pretty much scripted its season by the way it approached its offseason. So I think it'll be a controversy-free camp. I think it'll be camp of easing into stuff. And the overriding question in camp, in the preseason, and during the regular season will be this. How do you navigate a roster that has a 36-year-old player in PJ Tucker, a 35-year-old player in Kyle Lowry, 30-something players in Jimmy Butler and Markieff Morris, that balance, that you coming on every time here on the Acura of Pembroke Pines reports on Tuesday and Fridays, mostly during the season, and you're going to be, Ira, big game tonight. And I'm going to go, well, yeah, unless they rest half the guys. I think that's going to be interesting. And as happened when I was talking with Clay Ferraro the other day on our Palette Rock City Inside the Paint show, Eric Spoelstra is going to say everything about competition, that, he's going to make that available. I just don't see that. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe there's more to this than appears at the moment. But right now, I think this is a very well-ordered Miami Heat training camp.
Yeah, but I've given you that answer that you're asking, and that's the young guys need to be the engine during the season. I've mentioned this to you before. Bam needs to come through. Tyler needs to come through. Duncan needs to come through. And I would like to see a bonus like the Strus is on the loose or somebody to really help out throughout the year. Don't make the older guys carry the burden. Plus, at the same time, Ira, this also makes us feel better about Tyler and Duncan as we get to the real important part of the season that, hey, man, they've been stepping up throughout the regular season. They've been carrying and helping out and carrying the scoring load. Now, when the playoffs start, of course, the veterans are going to pick it up. But now we know the young guys are ready to truly commit in the most important part of the year. And I think that's kind of when you were talking about this preseason and early on in the season, it's kind of a catch-22. It's kind of, okay, chemistry, because you want everybody new to kind of get to know each other and play well. But on the same time, you want to keep developing these young guys because you need them to be effective to help, keep these older guys, not just fresh this year, but you have them for several years. So it would be really nice.
Except irascible talk show host Orlando Alzagari of The Big O Show, my question is this. What are you therefore willing to settle for? In other words, will you honestly, when you and I are talking here, February, March, especially into April, and see the Heat might not have home court advantage in the first round, you're going to go to me, hey, Ira, if Jimmy and Kyle and PJ are all healthy and rested, I can deal with it. Or you're going to go to me, holy crap, they have to play as the road team in Boston the first round or Atlanta, the road team in Brooklyn or Milwaukee the second round, the road team in Milwaukee or Brooklyn the third round. So that all sounds well and good. And right now you're most calm and relaxed, maybe not your most tan, but you'll get outside a little bit more from the cave there. And you're feeling good about what this team might be. But you know what? Seeding does matter, Big O. And we've seen that before. And they got that craptastic number 6 seed last season. and they were
Yeah.
swept by the Bucks because we knew the Bucks were the better team going into that series. So I think there has to be a balance. Now, maybe you're right. Maybe Tyler Hero lifts his game. Maybe Duncan Robinson gets back to where he was 2 seasons ago with his 3-point shooting percentage, and maybe a Max Strus or Omar Yurtseven step forward. But I still think you have to think about top 4. It was too hard of a path last season. So you put me home court in the first round against Atlanta, against Boston, against the Knicks. I'm fine with that. You're home court. You have actual fans, hopefully return to normalcy. But you set them up on that 3-round road course. That's tough for a lot of teams to overcome. I think the Lakers with Anthony Davis and LeBron James and Russell Westbrook might be able to. I'm not sure I can put the Heat's big 3 in the same playoff class right now, and I think that's where the concern will be. Again, the bubble was wonderful, but there were no road teams. They played as the road team in the first round against Indiana, except there was no road. They played in the road team the second round against Milwaukee, no road. Same thing against Boston in the third round. This is a little more reality. It's going to be a really interesting balance with Eric Spoelstra.
Caleb Martin, what do they see in him? What do you hear? Because, the one thing about the Heat, I don't care who they grab. I'm always intrigued because they might get more out of somebody than other teams do. And that's been a tendency under this regime for many, many years. They have a way of finding a guy and getting more out of him than anyone else does, right? So what's the deal with Caleb Martin? What do they see him as?
This is interesting because the Heat have a way of finding guys during training camp we didn't know about. And I go especially back 2 seasons ago. I mentioned this in my story at sunsentinel.com. Kendrick Nunn was nobody. No offense to Kendrick Nunn. God bless him. He did a nice job at Oakland University after he transferred out of Illinois, but he was unknown. And then circumstance was there. Dion Waiters turned into Dion Waiters, became troublesome, became a player that Eric Spoelstra simply didn't want to deal with, and in fact suspended for opening night. So the final preseason game, you remember, against Houston, a huge showdown, and the only player better than Kendrick Nunn on that night on the court was some guy named James Harden. All of a sudden, we know he took off from there. Now the opportunity's there again with Victor Oladipo assuredly out for the start of the season, certainly the preseason and weeks into the regular season. Caleb Martin is a player. I spoke to a Western Conference scout earlier this week, and he put it this way. He goes to me, he is an NBA roster player. Now, that might not sound like a lot to you, but if your two-way player is viewed as a roster player, then you've gotten value on that contract. So I think he's going to go in, and I asked the scout, I said, do me a favor, let's do some comparisons. I know that Jimmy and Duncan and Kyle are going to be your starting wing players. I know that the fourth guard is going to be Tyler Hero. And I asked him, is Caleb Martin better than Max Strus? He goes, no, I pretty much put him as equivalencies. Strus better shooter, Martin a little better defender. And I asked him, is Caleb Martin better than Gabe Vincent? And he said, yeah, I'd have to say right now I think he is. So what I'm saying is, when you ask me the first question today here on the Accurate Pembroke Pines Report, as far as who do I think is going to have a chance to make a statement in camp, I think that'll be interesting. Because again, this is my concern. And I know Caleb Martin's not a point guard, but he is a wing player. Kyle Lowry at 35 misses some time. Kyle Lowry, we hope so, but maybe tests for COVID or something and misses some time. So I'm going to throw this at you now, so I hope you have your ThinkPad open there. Okay, so Kyle Lowry is not starting today. He's out tonight. Eric Spoelstra announces it a shoot-around.
Okay.
Who do you think steps in the lineup? Do you think it's as simple as Gabe Vincent is your starting point guard? Or do you think Eric Spoelstra says, you know what? I want my best players on the court. Maybe you have Bam handle tonight. Maybe you have Jimmy Butler handle tonight and start someone else. So right now, if Kyle Lowry can't start, I'm not saying this, folks, but if he can't start the opener or is not going to play a back-to-back early in the season, who do you think emerges as that fifth starter?
Tyler Hero. He handled the ball a little bit, now it's Tyler Hero who's coming off a good preseason, looking in shape. Okay, hey, we've used him a little bit at point guard. It's not ideal, but maybe we don't want to put Gabe Vincent in that position right now. Tyler is a player for us, our first-round pick, and a scorer that we can count on in many different ways, where Gabe's a good shooter overall. Maybe you go in that direction.
You know what? And I'm going to be Ira the contrarian here because that's what you pay me the marginal bucks to do. So, and when I look at it, the one thing is, remember a year ago they tried Tyler at point guard, and it was too much for him. And
Right.
and they gave him a chance at starter along the way. The one thing Eric
Right.
Spoelstra has shown is he tries to find a niche for a player of comfortability. And I think as a streak scoring sixth man in the Lou Williams mode, the Jamal Crawford mode,
Perfect.
I think
Perfect.
that is Tyler Hero's inevitable place. So I'm not sure you want to mess around with that. You want to tell him, okay, for 6 preseason games, you're going to play as our sixth man, just spark our offense. That's your special role. And then tell him on opening night or when Kyle Lowry misses time, but instead now do X and Y instead of A and B. That's why I think guys like maybe a Strus, maybe a Caleb Martin might have a chance. I don't want to, and this is a good segue, I don't want to mess with Tyler Hero. I want Tyler Hero to feel comfortable. Oh, I don't think he did at the start of last season when he was playing as a point guard. When maybe he was starting with different players and having to defer a little more to the Bams and to the Butlers. So that's why I think it'll be interesting when you're talking about possible camp issues. That could be one of them. Again, I like the starting 5. I'm comfortable with the next 3 we just spoke about of Dedmon, Markieff Morris, and Tyler Hero. But I got a lot of questions about a 9th man. A 9th man will not matter in the playoffs. A 9th man will not matter in the postseason when there's no back-to-backs. But there are back-to-backs during the regular season. It does get grueling. There are too many games. So I need to know after those first 8, who's my next man up? Is it Yurtsevin? Is it Max Strus? Is it Caleb Martin? And a name I haven't even mentioned. I'm going to put you on the spot here again, because you know what? You put me on the spot all the time. What player haven't I mentioned that I should mention? I know it's not fair. I don't like when people blindside me either. So I'll give you the name, and you'll give me one of those, big O looks. KZ Okpala.
Oh, God.
I can't even trust him enough that when I'm – first of all, did you just eat something sour there?
Yeah.
For those not watching on YouTube. So the point
I thought you were giving me something that I can use, like Casey.
So the point I'm trying to make is, but we all think a player in this third year should be in that group, right? A player in this third year should be a group that when I'm asking you, Big O, Orlando Alzagari, who should at least be an 11th man, we didn't even get around to that. That's a subject of disappointment. The scout I spoke to earlier in the week told me, goes, I'm not even sure he's an NBA player anymore. That's disappointing. That's frustrating because that's a guy Eric Spoelstra did trust at certain times to play as a spot starter.
Yeah, and listen, everybody makes mistakes, and they've done such a great job of finding and developing the unknown. You're not going to hit on all of them, and maybe KZ might be one you missed out on. Now, you brought something up in one of your articles, and this is going to come a little bit from ignorance because I'm not exactly sure, but you mentioned Goran Dragic in one of your Ask Iras, I believe it was, and I read it in. And they can't trade for him this year.
No, you cannot bring him back by trade for a year. There was too much manipulation with players like Gary Payton and Antoine Walker over the years. So you cannot trade for him. If he's cut from a team other than the Raptors, then you might be able to sign him.
Oh, so even if he's cut from the Raptors, they can't pick him up?
No, not directly. Not from the team you traded him to. So in other words, if Goran Dragic gets a buyout, let's say from the Raptors, is signed by the Mavericks, the Knicks, and it doesn't work out, then you're no longer attached as the second team. So you can. That's a long shot. Because like I wrote in Ask Ira at sunsentinel.com, Goran Dragic is a really good player. And Goran Dragic will help a playoff team. The problem is the Heat needed to use his $19.4 million to balance the Kyle Lowry trade. Oh, I thoroughly agree. If they could have put anyone else, Andre Iguodala or someone else in that deal, he would have been the perfect backup point guard for this roster.
Now, I think they still will cut him because he does have an injury history. They're paying him a lot of money. There could be a buyout in the end if he wants to get the hell out. Plus, they got my boy Malachi Flynn, who if I'm them, I want to play Fred VanVleet and Malachi because Malachi showed you a lot last year.
No, Flynn and VanVleet are there. They have a young core. I get all that. Yeah, but you know what? It's to no advantage to buy him out now if there's still a market. I believe Dallas not only wants him, I believe Dallas needs him. And Dallas has enough intriguing young pieces. They're sort of playing liar's poker right now. Dallas is offering Dwight Powell, and they're going, how about Jalen Brunson? Or how about Green? Or how about one of your young kids? And they're going to go back and forth. Right now, as of this taping right now, on the Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Insider Report, Goran still doesn't even have a number yet. because they don't want to get into the whole should they give him number 7 or not until they have to decide when their camp opens Tuesday whether that's even a necessity. So yeah, he's still in flux. The thought is sooner rather than later he'll wind up on another team.
Okay. All right. So then if he does
Just
get
not the
injured, like
Heat.
if he does get injured, like you kind of expect, then maybe they cut him, and then Miami ends up with him, and he ends up backing up, Kyle Lowry.
It would be perfect.
I know
Absolutely.
that's
Yes.
kind of what I was thinking of. That if he can get cut, and because of his injury history, I could see people saying, yeah, let's just buy him out because it's a lot of money and all that kind of stuff. And then maybe he makes his way back to Miami, which would be really, really nice. All right, Ira, what are you working on in the Sun Sentinel so Heat fans can check you out and get ready for the upcoming season?
Well, with all I just told you about, there's no questions in rotation. I think there are 10 major questions for the Heat coming up. We're doing one of ours. I know you see Omar does this also at the Sun Sentinel and sunsentinel.com. 10 Heat questions leading into camp and sort of what the hot button issues are, from whether Jimmy Butler can turn it around from last season's playoff promise that went sour, whether Kyle Lowry is enough, whether Bam Adebayo can expand his game, Duncan Robinson get back to the three-point shooting of 2 years ago, whether He-Man Hero really can keep that musculature during the regular season, whether the topic you and I have spoken about for weeks, the Heat finally capitulate and get into the tax and say, you know what, we'll get a 15th player. Let's make a real run for this. So there's a lot of questions. And the old, Ira Winderman always asks 2 questions. Will they get a backup point guard? That's just to tick off Pat Riley. And will Eric Spoelstra go big like Clay Ferraro and I were talking about on our Wednesday show? Will he go with the 2 big man lineup, free Bam Adebayo, let him play more power forward? There are questions. There are legitimate questions. We know the roster. We know the rotation. Now we'll find out how it's all utilized.
And will the Nets move their home games in the playoffs so Kyrie can play in those home games?
Isn't that insane? I don't know if you touched it earlier in the show, but I understand you could be vaccine reluctant. You could look back to some of the horrible things our country did to segments of the population in testing vaccines and in testing LSD for our military. But now it's such a different time. And you know what? You're right, Big O. You've spoken about this a lot of times. You don't have to be a professional athlete. You don't have to play sports. Cole Beasley can go out and do whatever else he wants, unvaccinated, in so many other lines of work. Same thing for Kyrie Irving. But I think you have to understand your workplace. You have to understand how fortunate you are. You mentioned on the show there are parts of Kyrie that endlessly frustrate you. But you've also been fair and mentioned things, the charitable work he's done, the work he's done in race relations, the work he's done overseas, creating clean water. There's a lot of good in that man also. Yeah. I think he could be a good person if he doesn't play in the NBA. But you know what? In this calendar season, in 21-22, if you want to be a good teammate and an NBA player, there's certain concessions you have to make. If you don't want to be an NBA player or an NFL player or any other sport, you could go on and still live your best life, just a different best life.
So what the hell happens with Kyrie and Wiggins then?
I think the pressure continues from their teammates. The pressure continues from someone like a Kevin Durant. Whoa, buddy, I came here to play with you. Get on the damn court. Do what's necessary. Blake Griffin, I took a huge buyout to come here and play for you. Get your butt on the court. James Harden, I forced a trade and was made to look really ugly in a situation to play with you. LaMarcus Aldridge, I'm coming back from a potential heart disease because I want to play with you. If that's not enough, then all the internal issues that you've been mentioning as possibilities for weeks might start surfacing there because of his flighty sort of personality. You know what? People are saying, fine, go to a place they don't have that mandate. Trade him for Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons will fit in fine with the Nets. Kyrie might or might not, just like might or might not in Cleveland and Boston, and now in Brooklyn, fit in with the 76ers. There are possibilities. Big O, it shouldn't have to come to that. I can understand someone wanting to get all the facts. I can understand a pro athlete whose body is his temple, careful about any single element, whether it's injected or vaccinated into them. But at some point you have to, I don't want to say go with the flow, but you have to understand this is also what you signed up for. You're part of a union. It's collectively bargained. You're part of a state that has rules and a government. at some point you have to fit in somewhere. You have to agree with it. Like you said, we were working together with the other station. You had a mask mandate and you made it clear to everyone. Wear a mask, do a show. Wear a mask, don't do a show. Don't get paid. But that's what happens. Your employer comes out with rules, you follow them.
Yeah, that is a wacky story. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and catch him 3 times a week here, twice, Tuesdays and Fridays, with the Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report. And on Wednesdays, the best hardcore hour of basketball, Heat and NBA talk with the Pala Rack City Inside the Paint show. Now, 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Eastern every Wednesday here on the program. Ira, thank you, sir. Have a fantastic weekend.
And as always, I'm just trying to be your Caleb Martin. Thank you, Big O.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.
And make sure you mention our name if you go to Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Really cool way to see Miami, actually. So check it out, folks. You will love it. And thanks to Ira Winderman and our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. I'm looking forward to this season. While I am still nervous about the ages that these guys, I'm talking about Riley and company, have committed to these guys for as many years, considering where they're at in the stage of their lives. It's a little risky, but no, it's very risky. I mean, I'll just say it's a little risky. It's very risky, but I think this year, this is the youngest they're going to be. They do have a chance, man. If everybody can do their thing, really, to me, the young guys are the key. Obviously, the older guys, you want them to stay healthy, but the young guys have got to kick ass. It could be an interesting year. Miami can play defense now. They should be a good defensive team. Maybe I'm wrong, but they should be a good defensive team. Let's see what happens. Remember, you can reach out to us on the text line, 855-912-1056. That's 815-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. And again, I will mention, if you are if you have experience in radio or TV sales, reach out to me on the text line. Reach out to me on the email at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Reach out to me on Twitter, on the DM at Big O Show. Many ways to reach out to us, and maybe we can talk. Let's see. One guy says, repping my Finns at work today, right in the heart of the Patriots country. No cruise ship logo for me, says Steve Chapman. Nice job by you, Steve. I like it. He's got the classic logo on. Nice shirt by you, Steve. Way to go, my brother. GP Trap is in. Says, what? Adam Gase isn't an offensive guru? Let's see. What else do we have here? Says, how can you collect a paycheck when you're not playing? Plus, his actions are detrimental to the team. They should lose his pay. Where do I sign? I'll be a gopher for Houston, sign a contract and not show up for work and still get paid. Yep. But because you're a commodity that they have to hold on to because they're going to trade, that's why they're paying them. Because hopefully there's a way of getting rid of it. Big O, you can ask all these blind ass fake Dolphin fans and Tua haters what QB in this league can play great and process efficiently with 1.97 seconds to do so. No one. Use common sense, you're blind ass fan and haters. That's what Too Extreme says. I can't argue with that, man. Nobody was going to play well behind that line. Let's see. They see elite qualities in Herbert and the BYU kid. Okay? That's you know how many Jameis Winston has elite qualities also. You know Jeff George has elite qualities also. You know that Ryan Leaf had elite qualities. You know that Achilles Smith had elite qualities. Eric what is it? Couch? Tim Couch had elite qualities, sir. You understand that, right? I get it. Lots of quarterbacks. Jared Goff has elite qualities. That doesn't really mean anything. There's lots of quarterbacks in the history of time that have elite qualities. But are you an elite quarterback? Are you a very good quarterback? That's the difference. And there are guys, Drew Brees doesn't look like elite qualities, and Bob Greasy doesn't look like elite qualities, and Chad Pennington doesn't look like elite qualities. There are guys that have had success in this league, and they don't possess the big arm. They don't possess the great athleticism, none of that. And yet they're damn good quarterbacks, maybe even Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything. Elite qualities. If you're a winner, that's an elite quality. And if you got accuracy, that's an elite quality. And ball placement and anticipation, those are elite qualities, and intelligence. The question is, can you put your athleticism or your intelligence or your ball placement or anything that any quality that you have, can it be at the highest level is the question, my friend. It's not about what you physically have. The first 2 sacks for safety blitzes, which Tua should yell out to his guy to be aware. Too many questions and signals. Oh, so what you're saying is Tua is the only guy, but nobody on the line should know anything. They all should be really stupid, and Tua needs to think for himself. I got it, bro. I got it. I understand. RVA Richmond says, Big O, please ignore these dumbasses. Don't want you to have a heart attack. Need you. I'll be fine, my brother. I'll be fine. Thank you for looking out for me. Appreciate all of you. Big O, happy Friday to you. I'm coming back down this Tuesday for the Colts week. Little disappointed I'm not going to see Tua play live for the first time. G from Pennsylvania. Let's just hope you can come down and enjoy a win, G. And if you enjoy a win, you need to come back for every other game. Big O, can you please what platforms do you use to buy crypto? VeChain, Cody, Polygon. Thanks, Meech, blind ass Miami sports fan. Okay, I get Polygon and VeChain on crypto.com. Cody is COTI, not Cody like the person, CODY, sir. COTI. Now, here's the thing. Cody made a parabolic run already. I don't want you to buy something on a parabolic run. VeChain has not made its parabolic run. So, because like right now, let me look it up for you right now. Okay. Cody right now is at 52 cents. You know, when I was telling people to buy it, it was at 28 and 30 cents. You see what I'm saying? Don't get something when it's made its parabolic run ever. You wait for a dip in the market and then you get in. Now, VeChain, my friend, okay, I'm looking at VeChain now here on crypto.com. VeChain has yet to make a parabolic move. And because of the dip that happened recently, VeChain is at 9.3 cents. Okay. VeChain, I'm not a financial advisor. I would only tell you what I would do with my money. I love VeChain in the 5 to 9 cent area. I think it's a great buy. I take advantage of it when I can get VeChain in that area, and I do it. So VeChain for me is still a bargain at this point in time. Polygon is a bargain right now at $1.13. You can get both right now on crypto.com. If I had not invested in Polygon, I would definitely invest in Polygon at $1.13. And if you get it at crypto.com, you also can stake it for 3 months and get 10% on it. So when Polygon grows to $2 plus by the end of this year, you're going to be also earning 10% interest. Plus, it's going to go up maybe nearly to 100% over the next 3 months. I believe, not that I'm a financial advisor. I'm just a dude that loves crypto. Those are bargains right now. On BitTorrent, you can get it on Voyager. And right now it's at 0.0032, which is one hell of a bargain for BitTorrent. Now, BitTorrent, I think, will go up maybe, to 20, 30, 40 cents by the beginning of next year, by January. But BitTorrent is one that I would hang on to because I think it'll be $1 at some point in 2022. Okay. And you're getting it at a third of a penny. All right. Just saying. It's just under a third of a penny at 0.003258. Okay, those are bargains. That's how you want to do it. Like a guy told me now that he got into Miami Coin. Well, Miami Coin opened at 5 cents, went up to 5.8. Then you never buy a coin new. I waited for it to drop because there's always a dip. It dipped to 1 cent, 1.1. That's when I got in. And now it's maintained in the 4.5 area. It's at 371 now. And Miami Coin, the tokenomics of it are not necessarily great. So it's not one that I would tell you to invest. But if you're going to take a chance on it, take a chance on anything when it's a dip. Don't buy it on its climb up. You know what I mean? I would never suggest that, ever, to anybody out there. But if you're going to invest in crypto, try to take advantage of something that is still low and you can actually get it at a bargain and you're going to make good money on it or a good return on it. So those are little tips there that I would give you right now with the market. Okay, there you go. A little crypto talk for you. Johnny Manziel had elite qualities too for partying. Big O, do you think the Dolphins can reach a Peach Bowl or Gator Bowl? I mean, the Dolphins. Yeah, I think so. I think the Dolphins have a shot at the Peach Bowl. Gator Bowl might be a little too much, sir. Yeah. Flo may not like that. So there you go. Let's see. Let me get back to the text line. Tua has magic or something special. We need to wait for it. I wouldn't let Albert Wilson bring me water. That's what Chris P says. Big O, totally agree with you. You can't give up on these young men. Let the coaches coach them. We live in a microwave society. FYI, wanted Tua over Herbert. Switch O-line, see what he does. Agree on Flo. I'm a big Flo fan, man. I just am. Big O, I think you're spot on about giving the O-line time and just keeping the guys at one position on the O-line and let them learn one position before moving all over. I agree. There's a lot of panic going on and moving the lines around, the linemen around a little too much. Big O, I wish the Dolphins would have kept Pouncey and Wake for the veteran experience from both sides of the line. Well, Pouncey's already done. He's retired, sir. So right now it wasn't going to help you. And Wake's done also at this point, and he doesn't fit this scheme. They play more of a 3-4, and he can't really play outside linebacker in this defense because he's not going to cover. So it's not something that really he is set up to do in this offense, in this defense, my brother. I love Cam Wake to death, but Cam Wake has to play in a regular 4-3 scheme and not right now anymore. Cam's incredible career is over already at this point. And we just need to appreciate that we were lucky to get that great career from Cam here as a Miami Dolphin. And I can't wait to see Cam get inducted into the Ring of Honor because I would gladly put Cam Wake in the Ring of Honor. That guy, hell of a player. He's not Jason Taylor, but he was a hell of a player in his own right and a terrific pass rusher. And obviously an impeccable human being and leader and winner and everything. I know that he didn't enjoy great success with Miami, but Cam Wake, in my eyes, will always be a winner. So I'm just grateful that as a Dolphins fan, I was able to enjoy his career here with the Miami Dolphins. Oh, by the way, let me take a break here for hour number 3, the final hour of the program.
Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.
All righty. Kyle Morin on Twitter says, listen to Big O show. We have the right regime. Listen to Big O show. Patience. I'm just as frustrated, and I'm sure Ross is. Definition of insanity, anyone? Hiring, firing doesn't work. We have the right coach and GM tandem. They aren't blind. Let's see how they respond on Sunday. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you, my man. I think that's the right way to look at things and give them a little time to figure this thing out. Drew Boo says, these people have been deleted from my life now. I just listen to real football people. Well, thank you, Drew Boo. That's very nice. And he's got myself there and Dougley and The Real Reason and Baldy and Bucky Brooks. Cardi says, O-line talk every week is paramount now for the Dolphins. So let's start. It is sharing it out of bounds. Okay. Got no problem talking a little O-line and what they got going on. Oh, is it too late to get more experienced O-line coach? If not, how about an O-line consultant to help the rookie O-line coach? Well, I tried to explain this. I think it might have been Joe Shad. And one of the hurdles for young coaches is to figure out the right staff. And one of the problems that Flo is going to continually have until everything kind of gets established is finding the coaches. Why? And I explained this to Joe Shad. When you're stuck in just one team, which is what happened to Flo, right? He's been on one team his whole life, Patriots. He didn't really have, believe it or not, it's a luxury and a benefit to you to get fired and hired as an assistant coach several times and play on different teams with different coaches, different schemes, all that stuff. It's so important. A lot of people hold it against a coach that's been around. Well, that guy got fired and he got hired over here and fired there and hired and really what that means is he's a really good coach and people have a lot of respect for what he does. It's not his fault that the head coach got fired, but it's part of the process that when they fire somebody, they usually clean house because they're bringing in their own people. They're bringing in coaches that coach their style of football, and the guy that's there doesn't coach their style and all that kind of stuff. Flo doesn't have the experience of popping around to different teams and meeting different coaches and different styles and developing relationships. He was in the same place. So that's only place where he has some kind of knowledge of those coaches. Everybody else, it's from afar. And then they don't know him. So not everybody is going to go work for a rookie coach at times. And especially a proven coach. Those proven like offensive line coaches or D line or linebackers or whatever. And some of the best position coaches out there, they may not take jobs from you because they don't know if you're going to be there a long time. So they'll try to find a place where they feel there's a little more stability. Not that the NFL is about stability. And this is not an excuse. Joe Philbin went through this because his whole life was in Green Bay. So when he left Green Bay, they didn't allow him to take any coaches. He didn't know anybody around the league. So his coaching staff that he put together was kind of weak. And this is something that's normal with coaches getting their first opportunities. But if you find a coach that gets his first opportunity and he's bounced around the league, he will have a much better list of resources and coaches that he can go to. He's going to have a deeper roster in his Rolodex of coaches because he's bounced around. So he's gotten to know different guys. And he was at this place for 4 years. And in those 4 years, there were 3 different linebacker coaches. And in those 4 years, there were 2 offensive line coaches. And in those 4 years, they had 2 different wide receiver coaches. So he got to know the different. Then he was over here for 6 years. And during that time, they had 4 different of this and 3 different of that and 5 different of that and 2 different of that. And he got to see the revolving door of different coaches and how one guy coaches, how another guy coaches, and he gets to know them personally too. And people don't know about that. They don't think about that. They don't even realize that that's part of the equation. These are things that NFL people have told me. I was trying to explain this to Joe Shad, and he just looking at it like, oh, well, you're full of shit. You're hot air, whatever. You're just making an excuse for Flo. And I'm not. I'm just telling you the challenges for young coaches. All of them. That's what it is. Why do you think some of the guys that have ended up here have been from college and high school and all that? It's things that he might have a connection to because he doesn't have the Rolodex that another guy could have that has been an assistant for 15, 20 years and has done it on 6 different teams. That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the problem. And that's something that Flo is going to have to go through until he figures out the guys he likes. Obviously, he likes Josh Boyer. So he keeps Josh Boyer and he keeps some of the other coaches. But then there are some coaches that, he's trying to he worked with Dante Scarnecchia for many years in the Patriots. That's the guy he would love, but the guy's retired already. They already brought him out of unretirement one time in New England. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to take the guy that Belichick has used forever. He can't, because that guy's going to play for coach or work for Belichick more than anybody else. So the guru that he worked with in New England is untouchable. You get it? You understand what I'm saying? And that's why, and this is not an excuse. This is the reality for every coach that is young and did not bounce around the league. It's a problem, and it's a legitimate hurdle that they all have to overcome. And as Flo proves that he's a good coach, even coaches that don't know him, but he might know of their reputation, they will then eventually take the job because now they trust him. And now they see, okay, he's broken through the threshold. He'll be there for a long time. I'll gladly work for the guy. That way I don't have to move around that much. That's the reality, man. So that's why this whole thing with the offensive line coach, and he's changed it a few times. I'm not surprised. And he has to find a way to overcome all of that. Let me tell you. And oh, well, yeah, we want you to coach 4 rookies and a journeyman at right tackle. Think about the really good offensive line. Like, holy shit, that's one hell of a job. Yeah, no, hey Flo, I really like what you're doing out there, but I'm going to stay where I'm at right now. I got the irons in the fire here. I'm looking at a couple situations. I appreciate it, Flo. I'll get back to you when I make my decision. It's part of the game. It also cannot be easy to lure a really good coach and say, yeah, why don't you coach 4 rookies and a journeyman and make them a good line? You're probably going to get the guy that desperately wants the job to prove himself than the guy that can sit back and pick and choose. See what I'm saying? He might pick and choose a line that has 2 Pro Bowlers. He might pick and choose a line that has 4 guys that have 7+ years of experience. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. This is reality. For those of you that don't want to believe it, I'm sorry. I hate to disappoint you, but this is reality. Great point on the assistant coaches. Fill-ins could have had trouble. Philbin could also have trouble hiring since he's fired so many assistants. Might cause hesitation from a top candidate. Exactly. Now, a top candidate, I think, would be confident about his ability, but a top candidate also may say, let me pick a better situation than an unproven quarterback who's injury prone and 4 rookie linemen and a journeyman. Now, let me go to the team that has 3 proven veterans, an established NFL starter at quarterback, and that'll make my life easier. You see what I'm saying? Tua is injury prone, but more importantly, he's mentally screwed. Benched last year and worrying about future injuries. Wow, so Juice is in his head and everything. Juice knows that Tua is all messed up. Because, of course, the hip injury messed him up. The 2 ankle injuries messed him up. The finger injury also had in college. All those things messed him up. Yeah. Yeah, no, that guy's mentally weak. Yeah, Tua. Yeah, from everything I've seen, he's mentally weak. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, bro. Big O, do you give the Hurricanes a chance to win against Central Connecticut? Yeah, a little bit. I give the Hurricanes, about a 2% chance of beating Central Connecticut State. 2%, like the milk. Belichick hid Flo from the NFL when he was with the Patriots per Chris Collinsworth. Yep, he did. He loved him as an assistant coach and probably wanted to keep him as an assistant coach. He wouldn't allow him to talk or anything like that. So, yeah. But that doesn't mean he has experience in being a head coach and has a Rolodex of a whole bunch of assistant coaches that he's worked for, my friend. All of that doesn't mean it. I know Flo's a good coach, but it's part of the process that he's got to then win everybody else over so he can get all the right assistants that he needs. That's just the reality. Tua lives rent-free in his head. That's what Reptonix says. I really wish Jim Caldwell was coaching the offense. I think we would be better. Sucks he's not on the team anymore. Tell me about it. That was a loss. That one sucked. Did I miss Omar today? Nope, you have not. You have not missed Omar. He's supposedly going to join us now. So I am waiting for him. Okay, we're waiting for Omar Kelly. Hopefully Omar will join us any second now, and we will get into it with him. You know what? Let me give you my picks. We went 7-10 last week against the spread. I did not pick the game yesterday. Did not trust it. It's a lot of points, but they covered. By the way, they did cover the 11 points, right? Yeah, 24-9. They did. They covered the 11.5 points. Let's do the Arizona is -7.5 against the Jags. Jags are terrible. They're 0-2. Arizona's 2-0. I like Arizona in this one. I'm laying the 7.5 points. I just think this Urban Meyer thing is an absolute mess. Tennessee is -5.5 against Indy at home. Indy's got the QB issues. I don't trust them. Tennessee looking to bounce back. Looking to continue to give it to Derrick Henry like they did last week, who dominated. I'm going to lay the 5.5. I think they will handle Indy at home and win by a touchdown. So I'm laying a 5.5 against Indianapolis. Go with Tennessee. Bills are favored by 7 against Washington. Washington is 1-1. They got a heck of a defense. Bills, I'm going to take -7. I just that quarterback play for Washington, I just don't buy it. And against that Bills D, I think that's going to be a terror. And Josh Allen knows he isn't playing well, so maybe he's going to be motivated to show up a little bit. I do like Washington's defense. They got some talent on there, but they just don't have enough I'm going to go with the Bills -7. Tampa Bay -1 against the Rams. They are the champs, dude. I know they're on the road, but I think the Bucs will end up winning by 3 or 4 points. This will be a really good game against a really good defense. But Brady has already thrown for 47 touchdowns in the first 2 games. So I am going with Brady here, -1 against the Rams in Los Angeles. Seattle, -1 against Minnesota. I can't trust Minnesota. I can't trust that quarterback situation. I am riding Seattle -1 in that one. Let's see how we do this week. Remember, Sunday, we will be at Sports Grill 2 hours prior to the game. It is time for us to get into a little Miami Dolphins football and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Omar Kelly, baby. And the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. How are you doing, sir? Good afternoon.
I'm good. I'm blessed to have seen Mike Pouncey and have seen his ridiculous weight loss. Mike was out at practice today. No, he cannot help the Dolphins at offensive line. Mike looks about 220 pounds right now.
Nice.
I'm jealous. It's impressive. I
wish I was 220.
Yeah. No, I'm not 220, but
back to 220.
like I got like 8 more pounds to go. I'm not far from it. I just need some time to actually work out. But Mike has shown they need to do an offensive line program of how to lose weight, because offensive linemen right now, they've been killing the game in terms of weight loss.
Yeah, I was surprised with Newton from the Cowboys, considering all the weed that he traffics. He got really skinny too, which you would.
I think he had the gastric bypass surgery.
Yeah, but you would figure with all that weed he's trafficking, he'd be hungry all the time. So I'm really impressed. Now the real question is, was Pouncey wearing a Free Hernandez hat? Because really,
stop
it. Okay, I'm just saying you can't free him anymore.
There's no Free Hernandez. Pouncey's a good dude, man. One of my favorite Dolphins. A perfect example. He's got that alpha male gene, man, and
yes, he does.
Both of them do. Those things are hard. Those things are hard to find, and when you find it, you got to hold on to it. I mean, Jarvis had the alpha male gene too, and unfortunately, it just made Joe Philbin nervous. Joe Philbin a little queasy. It wasn't. But it was actually Adam Gase, who loved alpha males, who actually banished both of the players.
Yeah. Well, Adam Gase is a head case in himself. He must have been enjoying watching Sam Darnold last night. Look comfortable and happy being away from Crazy Eyes Gase.
Listen. Any quarterback that Adam Gase touches blows up the next year, and I can't even fault Gase for it, because I think his touch, his leadership, his mentorship has helped all the quarterbacks get to where they are when they move away from him. But snake bitten.
While they're with him, he's a cancer, is what you're saying? You want to admit that?
I'm not even saying that. Gase got in his own way. Gase was his own worst enemy because of his ego, and I said this, and he used to hate when I said this. He hated when I said this. I was like, yeah, you're going to be a good coach when you mature, when you actually, learn from your mistakes and kind of grow up. And, it didn't happen with the Jets.
That's not going to happen. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's that dude that's just going to keep doing what he's doing, and you know what? He'll keep getting exposed for a guy you don't want around your players. Unfortunately,
he would have been here. He would have been here for an extra season if his team hadn't quit on him and didn't want him to get fired.
Well, he started social distancing before social distancing was the thing. I mean, that guy's that I will say he's a trendsetter. Like, he was like showing the world, look, this is what's going to happen in the future. See how everybody stays away from me and I'm all by myself on the sidelines? You're all going to be just like that coming up soon. See? And he was showing us a sign of things to come. I don't know if you realize that.
No.
But he's Mr. Social Distance. You met the Free Hernandez hat man. You're on a roll today, man. It's a beautiful thing. All right. So I know that I talked to Joe yesterday. They don't allow. Apparently, you only see stretching. So, any word on any real changes on the line?
It's a big. I mean, I think I know what the changes are. I'm not going to say. I don't think it'll be status quo in terms of what you've seen previously, but it's certainly not what I expected. I will say this. I think Austin Jackson is going to stay at the left tackle spot, and I think, in my opinion, he should get a 2-3 game audition to see whether or not he can cut it at left tackle. If not, let's move him to left guard and keep it moving.
I get a feeling that it's shorter than that.
It might be short. It might be shorter than that.
Flo doesn't call out guys, and when he called them out this week, I was like, you're on double secret probation. And I think I think it's by the second half of this game.
I think he's probably got 2. I think he probably's got 2. Because remember, let's excuse last week's performance with COVID. We don't know. We don't know. All these guys come back and they say, "I'm fine." We don't know.
That's actually really true. That's a good point.
We don't know. I mean, hell, it took me I didn't catch COVID, but I caught a flu from going to Chicago, and man, I was a wreck for 2 weeks. A wreck. So I couldn't even imagine going out there performing as an offensive lineman, feeling not up to my health. But that's not even the play. Everybody's on Jesse Davis's case, and I'm a card carrying member of the Jesse Davis fan club. I'm a big believer in Jesse Davis. I will say this: nobody in South Florida has beaten themselves up more over what has happened to Tua than Jesse Davis has.
He should.
And
a week.
Yeah, sure. And he'll get an opportunity to redeem himself. I don't know where, but he'll get an opportunity to redeem himself. And I'm curious to see how he performs with that knee injury. Because as I've said to you months ago, that thing should have been cleaned out after OTAs. And then we would be right back at the regular season, and we see where Jesse Davis is. You didn't do that. Now you got to deal with the consequences, which we all knew what the consequences were going to be: a declining Jesse Davis.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that. Now, if he is on double secret probation, and it's this game or next, are you looking at Greg Little as the guy that they're going to? Because the one thing I don't like is we had Keith Sims on earlier in the week, and I agree with him. The musical chairs also has to stop. You have to allow these young men to whatever you think they are. Man, dude, leave them there and find out if they can actually play there. Obviously, they're going to make mistakes. They're a bunch of rookies. They're a bunch of young guys.
I don't like how people are saying this musical chairs or everybody's playing everywhere. That's not the case, and that has not been ever the case with any of these rookies. I even called Flores out on it, and he addressed it. All of the rookies have become starters, they only played in practice at one position throughout their entire career. Now, Solomon Kinley and Robert Hunt, yes, they were moved to new spots, but it's not like they were moved to new spots and worked at other spots. No,
but Eichenberg's been moved too.
No, Eichenberg is the only guy Eichenberg is the first during Brian Flores' era of all his rookies who has played multiple positions. And the way Flores justifies it and explains it is he's so technically sound. We know he's in our top 5. We're just trying to really figure out what is the right spot for him. Where do we need him? Initially, they thought that, hey, we might need him to replace Solomon Kinley. Solomon Kinley is your number 5 or 6. You can figure it out whichever way you want to. You could put Jesse wherever you want to. Solomon Kinley's still your number 5 or 6. And they thought initially Liam might start at left guard and play well with Austin Jackson, and you'd have a good left side tandem. But it didn't pan out that way because of the injuries that he had. But what he's shown you in the first 2 games is that he's a starter. Right now, I would say he's probably offensive lineman number 2 or 3. So, and talking to him this week, the head is sound, technically savvy. Everybody always talks about how technically savvy he is. It doesn't necessarily show poorly on the film, except for that one play where Solomon Kinley apparently stepped on his foot and allowed the worst sack I've ever seen in NFL history. I've never seen an offensive lineman get pancaked before that.
He didn't get pancaked. He got tripped. Stop saying that.
It looked like a damn pancake to me.
No, it did not. Go look at the damn. Don't do that to the kid. He got stepped on, dude. He lost his balance.
He lost his balance while the defensive lineman was pushing him to the ground.
He had a fat ass standing on his foot, bro.
What you want me to do, man?
You have a 500-pound fat ass standing on your foot, and you're gonna fall, bro. Come on.
Listen,
have some heart for the kid, bro. It's not his fault. He didn't get pancaked.
He got pancaked. I'm sorry.
He got tripped. Got tripped, and then they ran him over.
So he's gonna start. Where he's gonna start, your most important position should be your right tackle spot. So they're not moving Austin Jackson. I think he's gonna get. I would be shocked if they did. And then Greg Little is probably the replacement if something does happen to Austin Jackson. If he struggles again, then you just say, okay, Greg Little, this is your chance to prove it. Some got happen, bro. Some got happen. And I always bring up the unicorns because unicorns is the best line that the Dolphins have had probably since Keith Sims and Jamie Nails and that line.
Yeah, baby, Jamie.
That line that just destroyed people for Ricky Williams' 1,800-yard season. But remember the Unicorns. There was an October 11th game, a loss to Tennessee Titans, where injured guys were filling in. Dallas Thomas and Billy Turner, and they were absolutely obliterated and lost their jobs the next day.
I remember.
And from that point, that became the birth of the Unicorns. And they created a dominant, forceful line. And I think part of the reason is because a lot of the guys who were there who maybe thought they had some job security, like a Billy Turner and a Dallas Thomas and a Jameel Douglas, who all had prominent draft status.
And by the way, little did they know that was the best thing that happened to most of those guys, because they actually went on to actually play their best football for somebody else.
That's correct. There's some validity to that. There is
absolutely some validity. Chris Carter thanks Buddy Ryan for cutting his ass from the Eagles because of the alcohol issue. And that's what forced him to face his alcohol demons and then go on to have a Hall of Fame career with Minnesota.
I still think cutting Billy Turner. I still think cutting
moment is your best moment that leads to your better moments. You know what I'm saying?
I still think cutting Billy Turner was a mistake, but I'm okay with what has been the outcome. He's established himself as a quality NFL starter, but he should be an NFL starter for the Dolphins.
But he wasn't saving anybody's ass even if he stayed here, because there were still other problems anyway.
No. You know what Miami should have done? You know what Miami should have done this offseason? What they should have done is they should have brought back Jawan James. And they should have signed he's playing for the Jets right now, Morgan Moses.
Oh, that's who I liked over Jawan James in the draft.
Same here.
And that year when they took James, I was like, damn, I like Morgan Moses a little bit more. Yeah. And he's been the better player, actually.
He is. They should have signed Morgan Moses. They really should have signed Morgan Moses. But
you touched on something that I talked about earlier in the week. It sounded great in theory that you draft all these guys and you want to develop them. But in hindsight, my boy Chris Greer and Brian Flores, my two guys, have to be. They have to now take a step back. I doubt they'll admit it to any of you guys.
Oh, they fucked up.
They messed up. They put a whole bunch of youth in front of an injury-prone quarterback, and that what I said is it reminds me of Andrew Luck. That you go and draft Andrew Luck, who's a tree trunk, but yet you put shit in front of him, and the guy just gets killed and killed and killed every year.
Football.
And
quits football.
And he quits football. Exactly. Now, this kid may not want to quit football, but you're going to actually push his ass out of the game.
No, I think if you bring him back too soon, and he struggles, and if you bring him back before you fix that offensive line, you're potentially going to break him and do damage that cannot be repaired.
Maybe.
And that's you know how much I believe in Tua. The durability now does concern me. I mean, we're going 3 years with 3 injuries. That your quarterbacks are going to get hit. They are.
Yeah.
And
he's not a guy that can take a lot of hits, bro.
I knew this when they drafted him.
It's a small lottery. It's a small lottery, and it's a sure thing.
Oh, look at Carson Wentz and Big Ben. Look at Carson Wentz and Big Ben and Ryan Fitzpatrick and you get and Dak Prescott. You can name them. I'm sorry, but the list of teams that won't play at least 3 games without their starting quarterback in the NFL, we should count that up because it's going to be a very small list.
Yeah.
But my thought process is now I can't go into every season expecting to miss Tua for a month.
No, that you can't miss your quarterback. No. They had to build, and I would go farther than you. They had to go buy Tunney. They had to go buy the elite linemen. If you're gonna put Tua there, okay, you need to go buy elite linemen because that kid cannot. He's not a young Big Ben. I don't
believe you. I don't agree. I don't think you needed an elite lineman. I think you needed this team. This team needs 2 veterans because I think what's happening at the left tackle spot. Because I'm sorry, Austin Jackson did not play this bad last year, and I think part of the reason he didn't play this bad was because Eric Flowers was holding his hand the whole time.
Right.
And now that you don't have Eric Flowers to hold his hand and walk him through what's coming and tell him his assignment and be there to play as a tandem and a unit, it's a shit show. It is a disaster. And he's your worst performing offensive lineman.
I know.
And that's your left tackle. He goes against the big boy every snap.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 or 5 bad snaps a game can ruin your game.
Yeah.
So
Brissett got banged up in that game.
Yeah.
So, he got trucked. He got a Malachi crunch.
It was 2 Ole blocks in the 4th quarter that got him fucked up.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was by Austin Jackson. And
right.
You're like 4th quarter, like they're pass rushing. What did you not think he was coming?
Right. No, they already know what you are. You're their weakness.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt about that. As for Tua, I think you're thinking that they're going to slow walk this like they've done with everything else, right? I think because you were talking about if you don't fix the line before he comes back. Will they slow walk this, you think? Or are they because I don't believe he's back next week.
No,
I
don't think he's back next week. And I honestly wouldn't. I think it's the right approach is Jacksonville. Like, I'm sorry.
Right. Yes.
If you disagree, he'd have to come out here and he'd have to absolutely obliterate Jacoby Brissett, or Jacoby would have to look horrible. But
yes.
Jacksonville is the right approach. You don't want to put him out there against Tampa. I'm sorry.
No,
it's a huge game, but like, is that really what you want to do for him?
No. And what you said is true, because I talked about it yesterday. The line has to now feel some heat and say, "Hey, we can't keep getting our quarterbacks. We got to find a way to play better." And that line over the next couple of weeks needs to improve, because if you're going to put that kid back there behind those guys again, this isn't going to last long.
Win, lose, or draw, I'm running 30 times a game. And I'm giving Austin Jackson. You got a 2-game trial. After that, we're moving you to left guard. So
Right.
you decide what you want to be in this league. And there's no shame in going to another position, but we got to figure out if you're a left tackle or not. So, we'll see. We'll soon see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I haven't given up on any of these young guys, but you got to start finding a way to play a little better. Now, here's the question I have for you, and I know Eric Rowe is looking for this challenge. How in the F do you slow down Darren Waller? I mean, I'm thinking kind of bracketing him with Holland and Rowe or something.
No, have Rowe do what he does and put a safety in front of him, put a safety behind him, and put a safety, a linebacker in front of him, bracket him. Darren Waller, say everybody do what the Patriots do. Everybody else, you can beat me, but Waller, you cannot. The only problem with that is you're exposing yourself a little bit with Henry Ruggs, and I haven't figured out exactly what the best approach to that is. You got Byron Jones, who's your fastest cornerback, but then you got Xavier, who's Xavier. Do you want to? But Xavier, putting Xavier versus a speed guy is not exactly the ideal situation. You want to put
the Edwards guy. The Edwards guy is good too.
Yeah,
and
you want to put Xavier. You want to put Xavier versus a guy who's going to get volume on shorter passes, and maybe the pass isn't going to be perfectly placed. With Ruggs, it's deep balls. It ain't nothing but deep balls. So,
but it's deep balls, and him and Carr aren't perfect yet. That's the good thing. Yeah, actually, they don't have great chemistry.
Remember, Brandon Jones got roasted last year by Nelson Aguilar. So
yeah, of course. Yeah, but they don't have to deal with Nelson Aguilar this week.
I mean, Henry Ruggs might be faster.
But Aguilar is a much better route runner. He's a more polished receiver right now. But I'm with you. I like X to be on Edwards because that big kid, that's the kid they went to in the fourth quarter last week to win that game. In the clutch moments, they went to Edwards. He had like 80 yards in those 4 receptions, towards the end, and they were all key moments when he caught those balls. So I would put X on Edwards and then put Byron Jones on Ruggs and then bracket, but I'd bracket with the 2 safeties, not a linebacker. I'd bracket with Rowe in front and Holland over the top.
I'm not creating space for him because that's how he beat you last year.
Yeah,
on the jump ball. Definitely. I'm just letting Rowe man to man, with a safety over the top or a linebacker in the zone. Right. We'll see what happens. It's I think the key, considering how banged up their offensive line is to get pressure on Derek Carr and sort of create problems for him. I mean, they basically got 2 starters on their offensive line right now. So, as bad as you think the Miami Dolphins offensive line is, and they're bad, they are bad.
Yes.
The Raiders have a little bit worse situation going on. They're going to have 2 backup guards in there. One of them you didn't even survive your first round of cuts. Here, he's starting for the Raiders. And then, they got a rookie out there, Leatherwood, who's been okay so far. But, he's rookies. This is a perfect game for Jalen Phillips. And this is what I don't understand. Why not just have Jalen Phillips on 3rd down with his hand in the ground? Right now, if he's struggling to get everything,
yes, I see what you're saying. Yes,
if he's struggling to get everything that he needs to get, I'm sorry, have Agba work the other side and just allow Jalen Phillips to put his hand on the ground. Agba at least knows a little bit more of the defense. He's not going to drop back in coverage and help you, but let's be real about it. You're not having Jalen Phillips drop back in coverage either. Not really. And right now, Andrew Van Ginkel, like him. He's not giving you nothing. He's not giving you anything.
Yeah. He's been quiet so far this year. Well, I mean, it's 2 games, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Again, not going to go crazy. It's only 2 games. I see nobody in the Sentinel picked them to win, so you got you ended up picking the Raiders too. So I saw everybody's Feskis and Hyde and all of you picked. Everybody picked the
Raiders. As I wrote in my commentary, I can't pick you anymore until you fix this offensive line. I can't. I in good conscience, I can't pick you anymore. Like, doesn't matter who you play. I'm not picking you against Jacksonville if this O-line isn't fixed, because Lord have mercy, you can't protect the quarterback for 2 seconds. What are you going to do offensively?
Crazy. All right, we will talk on Sunday, my friend. You going to Vegas? You flying out?
I'm grounded, baby. I'm grounded. My first road game is Tampa, and that's because I could drive it.
Until they allow you guys into the locker room, it's you're not really gaining much except watching.
I mean, there are things you miss. I agree with you. The locker room is big deal. While they're giving you a crap load of ridiculous players right now, and it's more than you get in the locker room. I prefer my opportunity to go talk to a Jesse Davis privately, one-on-one. Of course. And no quotes. Right. And go talk to find out where Noah Igbenogany is, mentally, no pad out. I miss that. By the way,
you're not the only one. We all want to find out where he is, because he's on a milk carton somewhere. So I don't know.
Let it be, man. Let it be. We're the kid has talent. Yeah. He's not putting it together. There's something that's and remember Jason Allen? He makes me think about Jason Allen a lot, and he's smart, so it's not a Jason Allen situation. Jason Allen was.
That's what I was going to tell you. Yes, I was going to tell you that. Yeah,
he's not a dummy. He's not dumb. So it's just the technical. Remember, he was a receiver. The technical side of the position is not clicking. Right. And understand, he's not active because they've had to have Jamal Perry active. Now they can only keep Jamal Perry active for one more game unless they put him on a 53-man roster. That means if Noah wants to play, he's going to have to be a good gunner. And I think the kid can be a good gunner. I think he's got some potential there. Noah has everything athletically he needs to be successful. It's just not clicking here for some reason. And the question is, how do you utilize him if it's not clicking technically for him?
No, you can't. You can't trust him right now. And that's the problem. They're having problems with that.
If something happened to Xavier or something happened to Byron, I'd go with Nick Needham first. But I'd be right there. It'd be open competition. And I like Nick, superstar. I trust Nick. I believe in Nick. But Nick doesn't have – Nick is missing 40% of the athleticism that Noah has.
All right, so what Omar's telling you is that Albert Wilson has about another week left on the roster. When they activate Jamal Perry, they got to cut him.
Are you serious? Don't do that. Don't do that. Albert Wilson, he has not shown up the first 2 weeks, but he's much better than the 5'6" receiver who is now on one leg. Let's just be real about it.
All right, we will talk to you on Sunday.
One of them could actually be used as a receiver. I'm just saying. All right.
Much love, brother.
All right, talk to you later.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843. For EJDconstruction.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right, we're back. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, and looking great with that new mic of his. Looking sharp. There you go. Can you take that mic with you when you're in the car?
I'll see what I can do for you, brother.
All right, so rumor has it that you pushed all the coaches aside and started teaching these players how to tackle. You know, they taught you how to Dougie, you taught them how to tackle. Is there any truth to that?
I did. I got in the middle of the mix with them this week, and I showed them that this is how you tackle a roast beef sandwich. Because that's really the only thing I know how to tackle, Big O. I don't know how to physically. No, I played a little bit of football growing up as a kid at West Kendall Optimist back in the day. I played defensive end. I played a little offensive tackle, but no, I couldn't show them how to do it right. I mean, somebody has to show. I mean, there's plenty of film out there they can study, Big O.
Yeah, are they going to show them how to not avoid tackles? Also, I'm just right. Wondering how that one went. Because I really want to be in the film room when they're like going over that play. You know, I don't know. I mean, the in today's ultra sensitive Generation X, I don't know, or is it Z? Which one is it for these kids?
I don't even know anymore. I don't
Whatever.
Even know.
Either way, but they're so sensitive. I don't even know if coaches can thoroughly make fun of you like they used to in front of everybody, you know, with that stuff. But I'm just wondering how Gervin Hall is handling this week too.
Yeah, it's been rough on him, man. When you make Monday Night Football for all the wrong reasons and you're on the Come On Man segment, it's pretty embarrassing. And then you got all these comedians putting these videos on the internet questioning his manhood. And look, man, unfortunate play for the kid. I'll tell you this: they've had him more on the field more than anybody else this season. He's played 222 snaps. He's gone out there and he's given it his all. Unfortunately, it's just not good enough. And you see plays like that where you get exposed, for some of the mistakes that you make. Oh man, I'm just hoping this week it's 70-0. Like the world somehow finds some balance again, right? And Miami goes out there and just cruises, and then we get to see all these young guys, because to me, that's really the only thing Manny Diaz has left right now is these young players that he's recruited that are supposed to be better than the current guys. I hope we get a good chance to see Tyler Van Dyke and Jake Garcia throw the football down the field. I hope we see guys like Keyshawn Smith making big plays down the field. I want to see the new tight end, Elijah Arroyo. I want to see Leonard Taylor, the defensive tackle. There's a lot of good young players on this roster that, they're looking at each other saying, hey, I'm sitting behind these guys, these guys who are screwing up and making these mistakes. So they want to get on the field. They want an opportunity to play, and this is their weekend.
Yeah, and back to Gervin, I don't know, does he realize that if he doesn't do something, that's going to be what he's known for the rest of his career? I mean, I wonder if he does realize that, man, you better go out and make people forget this thing, because that thing's going to be the meme forever. And it also becomes like another terrible look for the University of Miami too, because I can't imagine what parents of recruits or guardians of recruits, they watch that and it's like, okay, that's what they're teaching at that university. Yeah, no, I don't want to send my son there.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, he knows this is like a forever scarring thing, right? I mean, it's what you could be branded for the rest of your life. The same way that we talk about Amari Carter, right? With targeting, that seems the first right. topic we think always when we talk about Amari Carter. Right. Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. I feel for the kids, because they're not bad kids. A lot of them are good, hardworking kids that are just trying to make it. And unfortunately, you start a season like this, the criticism comes out, and it's hard to fight it. And I'll say this, the one thing the Hurricanes of the past really didn't have to deal with was social media. Like the way things have exploded now on Twitter and TikTok, and everybody's laughing at you, and it's like a public roast. That's something that Al Golden's guys, Randy Shannon's guys really didn't have to deal with. It wasn't like this, like it is now, where everybody's wanting to be the funny man. and taking you down. So I feel for these kids because it is a different experience than other hurricanes in the past who have had embarrassing moments.
All right. Central Connecticut State just doesn't do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
This is just now. There's no chance they can lose this game, right? I mean,
Hey, FSU lost to Jacksonville State,
oh,
right?
God, that's right. I forgot about that.
I mean, that just happened, right? I mean,
Oh yeah.
no, I don't think there's any way, shape, or form they lose this weekend because
Does Central Connecticut State even suck, or are they actually good?
they were good a few years ago. They were an 11-2 team a few years back, but they didn't get to play a season last year because of COVID, and they're 1-2. They lost 59-10 to Southeastern Louisiana last weekend.
Okay.
So I mean, this is sort of one of those sacrificial lambs that you put on the schedule so you get the young guys in the game.
Okay. All right. So young quarterbacks, I guess that's the thing we look forward to right now. Is that what I mean? I almost hate that because we got people that want to discard De'Aaron King already, and in my eyes, I got to tell you, the only reason to watch Hurricane football is for that guy, at least, because I have
Right.
so much admiration for De'Aaron King and what he's done here, how he's carried himself, how he has sold out for every single play. As I tweeted out during that game, I felt like De'Aaron King has given up his eligibility to the wrong coaching staff, basically. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I almost feel bad about that part of the equation, but that's kind of what this game is about, right? Is checking out these young quarterbacks.
Absolutely. And, this is the future. No matter who the coach is next year, no matter who the coordinator is or what happens here in the next few months, these kids have been waiting in line behind De'Aaron King to play and be the quarterback at Miami. So my assumption is it'll be one of the two guys who play on Saturday. They've had a chance to play and take all the snaps in the spring, which was good. That was the one benefit of having De'Aaron out, right? That those two guys got a lot of work, got a lot of first team reps. And so now they get their opportunity to shine. I think both of them will probably get a half's worth of work. And we'll see who looks good when there's people actually coming at you and tackling you, not just tapping you with their hands like they do in practice, because it's a totally different feeling, right? When you know somebody's trying to hit you. So we'll see how good they look under pressure. And obviously I don't know what's going to happen with De'Aaron or when he's coming back, but my assumption, being on a short week, having Virginia right around the corner, I would assume that one of these two young guys is probably going to be who starts against Virginia as well.
All right. Before I let you go, obviously you always have great sources in this university. What have you heard from boosters or anybody in the administration now? What's their level of frustration? Because a lot of the stuff that's being written, there
Right.
isn't maybe that much frustration. There isn't any real, desire
No.
to make any kind of changes or anything like. What are you hearing? Tell me. Talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm hearing, is that, look, there's a lot of frustration and feeling like, they made a mistake hiring Manny Diaz. Okay. And these are the people who give money to the program. They've seen the last 5 games. Yes, they were 8-1 last year, but this 5-game stretch of just horrendous football has turned a lot of people off. And they're saying, hey, he's not the guy. What are we going to do to find a replacement? And there's obviously a lot of people who want Mario Cristobal to come here, right? That's the pipe dream.
Please.
And then I think there's also a lot of people saying, this has to start with Blake James and him hiring the next head coach. Are you just gonna fire Manny and ultimately leave the same athletic director in place? The people who are giving the school money are upset. They're frustrated. It's been 17, 18 years of this. I think the people who are at the school, who make the decisions, who hear from the fans, who complain, I don't get a sense that there's a huge sense of urgency. Now, if they get completely embarrassed the next few weeks, could they fire Manny Diaz in the middle of the season and make one of his assistants, say Jess Simpson or Rhett Lashley, the interim head coach until the end of the year? Yeah, that could happen if things get really embarrassing and recruits start to fall off. But that hasn't happened yet. And I think everybody's trying to get ahead of that happening. And I don't know that that's going to happen because I don't think the Coastal is that great. I mean, it's not a very good division. And I still think this team could win 6, 7, 8 games if they get the right opponents and they play them and they start playing the right way, which they could on offense. I think offense, there's going to be a level of improvement. Defense is what I'm more worried about. So, we'll see. I think it would have to be for Manny to get fired in the middle of the season. It would have to take several embarrassing losses here the next few weeks. And I just don't think that's going to happen.
Just a follow-up to wrap it up. I know you probably already called some recruits or their coaches or anything like that. What's their thinking? Are they still thinking that I'm coming, or are they as concerned as we are about like, what am I, walking into?
Well, I think, look, they've only got 9 commitments right now in this class. And a lot of this next class was going to be predicated on eligibility of guys returning, right? Who's coming back, who has an extra year, because you have a lot of redshirt juniors who still have one more year after this, right? So which guys come back? I think Manny was going to dip heavily into the transfer portal and into the JUCO ranks, because they basically put all their eggs in one basket, which was, we're going to have a great year and we're going to end up getting all these great 4- and 5-star players at the end of the season when people see the finished product. And instead, they've got 9 commitments, guys at positions like cornerback and safety that they look at the depth chart. They're like, you know what? I don't care if they suck. I'm still coming because I know I'm going to play right away when I get to Miami. So I don't think this necessarily implodes the recruiting class, but I think any hope of, hey, we're going to get Shamar Stewart, the 4-star kid out of, Monsignor Pace, or we're going to get Nigel Lee Kelly, the 4-star kid out of Dillard, or hey, we're, all these guys that they wanted to be in the mix for the end of the year when those kids make those decisions. I think it basically puts them out of it and now puts them in a mode where they're going to have to look at the transfer portal and they're going to have to look at the JUCO ranks to find guys to fill out the class.
All right. So I'll leave you with this. So if DB see it and they go, oh, there's no doubt I'm playing, there's also a caveat. There's really no chance of getting a concussion since they don't force you to tackle either at defensive back. So there you go. It's a beautiful thing. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work there at The Athletic, my brother. Appreciate all of you out there. Subscribe to The Athletic. Support Manny and all the great writers there at The Athletic. Manny, have a fantastic weekend and I guess enjoy the game. I don't know.
I will be doing it remotely, brother. I'm not even going to the stadium. I'm going to Jacksonville to go see some family. My brother's in town from Cali. I haven't seen him in 2 years because of COVID. I'm going to go spend some time with him with the game on in the background there. So
yeah, I again, don't blame you, man.
This is the week to take a bye week for sure.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt. This is perfect. Manny, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. You're tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, aka the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Andy, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com. Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.
All right, we're back. Thank you all out there. Final stretch of the show. Appreciate all of you for hanging in there. As always, we thank Manny Navarro. And yes, Thriller, baby. Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. If you go, make sure you mention us. Great way to see Miami, man. It's actually a really cool thing. Now, most of us don't have a speedboat, right? So it's pretty cool to get to haul ass on the water and then cruise around certain areas and check out some of those islands and those amazing homes that they have all throughout that area. So check it out and go see Thriller Miami all the way through the end of this month. So next week is your final week. You can go today and then next week, Monday through Friday, not on weekends. Only Monday through Friday is where you can take advantage of that Florida special. So anyway, we do want to remind you, Sunday will be at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. We'll start off at 2:00 to get you ready for the Raiders and Dolphins game. We'll have our pregame. We'll have our insiders with us, Alan Pupar, Omar Kelly, Joe Shad. They'll be with us throughout pre and post. So we'll talk to Alan and Omar in post game. We'll talk to Joe Shad in pregame. So we will definitely have a little fun with all of that. We also want to remind you, Hialeah Park is also teaming up with us once again and a proud sponsor of our show starting Monday, October 4th. Not this Monday, next Monday. Every Monday after that, we will be at Hialeah Park broadcasting live, so you can come on out and join us. Got a bunch of stuff going on at Hialeah Park. Got a boxing event that's coming up in October with several undefeated Cuban boxers, including also Robert Daniels Jr., who is the son of Robert Daniels, who's a good fighter, man, and his son is now back in the mix. So Robert is in there, and a lot of the Cuban fighters are in there. It's going to be a really entertaining night at Hialeah Park. It'll be on ESPN also, so it's going to be a really, really cool night. They've already starting on Santa's Enchanted Forest, which that's moving over from Tropical Park over to Hialeah. I saw them building it yesterday. And there's another enormous bit of news that's coming, and can't talk about it, but it's coming, and you'll definitely want to know about it. Trust me, a lot of you will definitely want to know about it, especially if you live in the southern part of Dade County. That is going to be a place you are going to gravitate to for a specific reason. So that'll be cool. Tommy in Hialeah. Thank you, sir, giving us a little love on the super chat. He says, Omar, who cares about the youth movement on the O-line? I want a damn good offensive line. If all the veteran O-line helps the offense and Tua, then so be it. I agree. Whatever it takes. And Tommy, thank you, sir, for the Dolphins logo. He brought it to the pre-post game shows that we had over at Sports Grill this weekend, and so you are there now, my friend. You are now in the studio, and even in this box where it's limited, even Tommy's a sticker right there makes it. How about that? So there you go. Nice job by you, Tommy. Appreciate you, my friend. And remember, of course, you can always reach out to us to make a donation on Cash App or Venmo. That is very important. Cash App or Venmo to make a donation. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. If you want to get in on Cash App or Venmo, we get 100% of the donation there. If you want to send it in there also. Sam Yankovic was hard on our team after we beat Texas in the Cotton Bowl in 91, celebrating excessive. Yeah, but without Sam Yankovic, you don't become a great university, my brother, in football. Sam Yankovic was fighting Tad Foote and making sure. That's why Sam was pissed, because he's got to fight the administration above for football, and then the guys in football are acting like idiots, and then it's making them, making his job harder. That, in a way, that's kind of what this said. I'm glad you brought it up in a way, because you kind of misunderstood what was going on with Sam Yankovic in those days, and then we can fast forward it now to 2021 and tell you maybe that's also why the administration doesn't care about having a great football team. Because if you got to go out and recruit the best players and all of that, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They're not all Boy Scouts. So all of those top schools, they have players that go awry. And maybe they're thinking, you know what? We'll get less problems by having a team that isn't so much in the spotlight, and we don't have to baby these 5-star players that might be malcontents, but they're really talented malcontents. So some of the stuff that's happened in the past with the U, maybe they don't want any of that. Maybe they feel that there's also a burden to having a great football team because of all the hanger-ons, from the Nevin Shapiros to the girls, to the actions on the field, whether it's the thing, the camouflage stuff against Penn State, obviously Randall Hill with the 6-shooter, all these other things that have happened in the past. You won't get nearly as much of it if you don't have those kind of teams. Maybe the administration, that's why they're fine with winning 8 or 9 games, going to a mediocre bowl game, getting their check from the ACC that clearly pays off for their athletic programs. They're happy with that. Maybe that's the case. If you're not trying to be great, you don't need to deal with Willie Williams bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Maybe that's part of it. You should be grateful that you had Sam Yankovic and not Blake James. Let's put it that way. You gotta appreciate what happened in the past, man. Because all of us that experienced 83 and 87 and 89 and 91 and then even 2001, we are so blessed, dude. I know I feel so lucky that I was able to experience an era of football that will never be experienced again. Forget about just going to another national title or being a contender. Like, that'll never happen. But the dynasty, those days are done. They won't even ever be great again. So don't ever look back at Sam Yankovic or regret anything that went on back in those days. They did whatever they could to be great, and they created a really special moment in sports history for us down here in South Florida. And every one of us that lived it, man, we are so freaking lucky. Incredibly lucky. Jimmy Johnson left because when he stepped to Wayne Huizenga to get his permission to trade Dan Marino to the Minnesota Vikings, Huizenga told him no. Jimmy Johnson didn't leave because of that. Jimmy Johnson stayed. That was before the tenure started, sir. That was right when he got there. He wanted to trade Marino. Not in his fourth year. He was burnt out in his fourth year. You need to get your facts straight, dude. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Charlie, you couldn't be more wrong. It's not why he left. So I don't know what conversation you're involved in on the chat board, but reading that, I can tell you don't know a damn thing about the history of the Canes or the Dolphins. You don't know jack shit. I was thinking about the O-line. People want Jesse Davis to play hurt. Kinley played with an injured foot. Both players' injuries prevented them from moving fast enough to play. Davis needs a surgery. It is what it is. Sucks. Tuttle says 100 after the probation and scandals. Miami just wants a clean program. Exactly. They're not looking to take any chances and trying to be great because that's what would end up, Rosendo says, wasn't Tad Foote who forced Jimmy Johnson to leave? No, dude, it was the Dallas Cowboys. He won his title and he moved on. That's it. That's all. By the way, Jimmy Johnson, in his tenure, he didn't win enough. He won a title. Should have won more. He underachieved at the University of Miami. It's not, let's call things like we see it. All right, folks? Underachieved with the Dolphins, underachieved with the University of Miami. Because all he had to do was keep handing it off to Alonzo Highsmith, and he would have won the Fiesta Bowl. And the Maryland game still is a stain. So, yeah, they were loaded and they won their title. But he underachieved at the University of Miami. And he left because he burns out quickly, sir. Oklahoma State, out. Miami, out. Dallas, kind of pushed out there. And then here with the Dolphins, out. His tenures were right around 4 years, 5 years. I don't know if you know that, but that was his tendency. Here, let me pull up you know what? I can do it right here for you. I can do it on the Wikipedias, right? Here you go. Let's put Jimmy Johnson up. Let me show you his coaching resume. For those of you that, you might think, oh, he left this. And Jimmy was a guy that really never had, even with the Dallas Cowboys thing, he might have left early anyways, because this is not something that he would have stayed around for a long time. And I'll bring up the coaching for you here so I can show you guys, for those of you that are, let's say uninformed or don't get it or don't know, and you just, throw stuff out there. As you can see here, Oklahoma State, right? Am I showing you seeing it here? Okay, there we go. Oklahoma State, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he gone. Miami, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he gone. Dallas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, gone. We done? Is that your Jimmy Johnson education? He really doesn't last long in places anyway. It's kind of his deal. But as you get older, and as the story fades, the myth grows. Is what happens with it. You know what I mean? Say what you want. He underachieved here. All I can tell you. He did a great job, at least, of leaving the talent for Dennis. And Dennis was able to win 2 out of the first 3 years. And then after that, once Dennis's players took over, the program was gone as shit. Thomas Jensen, University of Miami, did have a Power 5 assistant coach, Dan Enos, who was the associate head coach and quarterbacks coach in Alabama. That did not work out. Tuttle says, I was blessed to sit in that Orange Bowl to some of those classic games. That place had an electricity that I can still feel. So true. So true. Rosendo says, Johnson writes that Foot reneged on an agreement to extend his contract after the Canes were heavily criticized for their conduct in the controversial 14-10 loss to Penn State on the field. He can say whatever he wants. He was burning out everywhere he goes, dude. He doesn't last more than 4 or 5 years. That's what he was. He went all in and all that, but it's not a coincidence that every one of his stops were the same amount of time. It's not a coincidence. You can create whatever excuses you want why he left the Dolphins or why he left the Canes or whatever, but it just ends up being that. Okay? He wanted the challenge of the NFL, and he did the right thing in going there because he was able to do it with Dallas with no salary cap. When he came to Miami, the salary cap was there, and that was another monster that he had to deal with. Ian from Brooklyn says, Big O, Gervin Hall is on the field at any point Saturday. It tells me all I need to know about Manny. Oh, Lordy. I love it. What else do we have that I did not talk about? So Riddick Bowe is now going to announce the fight that he was supposed to be in. So J-Lo's ex is now going to fight Lamar Odom. I was just talking with these guys yesterday at Hialeah Park, and I was going, thank God we get to see real boxing because I can't stand the crap that's going on now with boxing. I really can't. Marlins will start a series against the Rays. What else do we have here? Raiders favored by 3.5. Over and unders 44. Vegas minus 200. Miami plus 170. So we will find out. You know what I want to find out in this game? I want to find out if these coaches learn their damn lesson. That's what I want to find out. You guys are going to keep playing Albert Wilson? You're going to keep playing Jakeem Grant at wide receiver? You're not going to do any max protect and help out a line that's struggling? I want to know what the hell is going to happen this week in that sense. Because let me tell you something. I see some of that, and I'll be really pissed. I want to see the offensive coordinators learn from their mistakes. And I want to see them adjust to what the hell is going on out there. Early for them too, but what's not early for them is the mistakes they made, especially with Jakeem Grant last week, and then Albert Wilson. Two guys that have been unreliable for you, and you're relying on them. And I don't want in this game on Sunday, I want you to rely on people that you can actually count on, that can actually come through for you. That would be really nice if that's the case. So hopefully these coaches have learned something from the experience recently, that they can't trust certain things like the line. They can't trust certain receivers. Will Fuller's back? Use Will Fuller. Mac Hollins. Let's go, dude. Please use Mac Hollins. They obviously feel good enough about him that they made him a special teams captain. So obviously people have respect for him and they look up to him. He's paid his dues, and he's gotten better as a player since he's arrived here. And every time that Mac Hollins is given an opportunity to make a play, makes a damn play. So play the people that make you better. Please. I'm hoping you learn your damn lesson. All right, folks, we are out of here. We will see you tomorrow. On Sunday at 2 o'clock. We will be at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes. Please come out there and join us. We will have some fun, eat some great wings, hopefully see a victory and shock the world, which would be absolutely awesome, and shock a lot of Dolphin fans and save a lot of Dolphin fans that are giving up on the season and already hating on the team, and it's only been 2 games. Give Flo a chance, man. Give the boys a chance. They'll figure things out. I appreciate all of you out there. Cash App, Venmo, if you send in a donation, thank you at Cash Big O Show. If you please smash the like button before you go. That is so important that you do that, and share the links. If you're downloading, remember you can reach out to us anytime on the email at Big O Radio Show, Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com, Twitter, Big O Show, text line 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to reach out to us. And remember, if you have experience in radio or TV sales, give me a ring. We can talk. You can join the family. We'll see you on Sunday.
Enjoy Miami in speed and style. Only on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. Take advantage of special September Florida residence rate. Monday through Friday, you can book a tour on the biggest, baddest speedboat tour at 50% off. Must show Florida ID in order to get the discount. Tour special only available during September. Call 305-373-7001. That's 305-373-7001 to reserve your tickets on Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures.